Let's listen to some RX tunes.
Welcome to the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. We're at the very first Speed Machine Festival in the UK. Expect a party atmosphere as the World RX drivers take on a new track. Located at the historic Silverstone circuit, Speed Machine is the ultimate motorsport festival, with World RX the headline act. At the centre of this brand new event is a challenging purpose-built rallycross track. Silverstone may be steeped in motorsport history, but it has never seen action like this. Belgium and that now infamous first corner played host to round 3 of the championship. It claimed its victims over the weekend, and as Timmy Hansen spun in his semi-final, most thought his race was over. But Hansen, who had become a dad for the first time that week, had other ideas. In the comeback of the season so far, he forced his way back through the field and remarkably onto the back row for the final. At the other end of the grid sat world champion and two-time 2018 race winner Johan Kristoffersen. Next to him was Sebastian Loeb, who has just one RX victory to his name in Latvia 2016. Off the line, Loeb got the start and Kristoffersen entered the corner on 2 wheels. But as the cars descended down the hill, Hansen cut inside and amazingly moved up to second. Lap 2 and a massive moment for Hansen saw him keep control by the tightest of margins. Behind him, Kristoffersen then decided to joker. But Solberg, who'd gone in a lap earlier, punched in a fastest lap of the day and undercut his teammate on the exit. The Peugeots decided to stay out in formation. As the final sped on, Solberg was waiting. Eventually, the Peugeots went in together and the Belgian crowd held their breath. Solberg split the pair at the merge to secure second. As the pack condensed to make a fraught dash to the line and the closest top 6 finish of the year, Sebastian Loeb held his nerve and delivered a stunning victory for Peugeot.
Yeah, it has been a very good, difficult start of the season in Barcelona with the quali, but then I went to the final and finally second also in Portugal and first in Belgium. So it's really good, good beginning of the season, and hopefully we can continue on the way. For sure, I'm happy to have a good start of season. It's not every year that I started like that, so I enjoy this discipline, I enjoy the sport, and so I hope I can continue to fight.
After 2 second places in that victory in Belgium, Loeb moves up to second behind Kristoffersen, just a point in front of Solberg. In the Teams Championship, PSRX Volkswagen Sweden maintain their place at the top, but Peugeot are looking strong, very strong, and updates are coming. With a new venue comes new opportunities, and returning to race in his home event again is wildcard Andrew Jordan, a man who is no stranger to Silverstone and remains the only British driver to secure a World RX podium.
For me, it's great to be back. I always want to come back and do my home event, and especially now it's moved to Silverstone. It's a new event on the World Series, and it's not just a rallycross event. You know, the whole Speed Machine Festival, I think it's going to be something really good to be part of. And this is the first event of a 3-event deal for me, so there's a bit more continuity and longevity with it this year. I think it will be a quick car. Hopefully we'll have the reliability there with it being such a new car. But if I can get through to the semi-finals, that will be kind of my aim done for this weekend, and then see where we go from there.
The focus may have been on other drivers so far this year, but with 3 fourth-place semi-final finishes, the Latvian Jānis Baumanis is Mr. Consistent. But what will it take to regularly book a spot for the final?
It's not only about developing the car and myself and everything. It's also about the luck what you have on the track and what luck or dislike for the competitors. So it's yeah. You have to be quite lucky to be in the semi-final or final when you're like a private team, but I think everything is possible. You just need to push maximum and all of the times, not only during the races but also between the races.
Team Peugeot Total have shown amazing pace this year. Loeb may have had the results, but Timmy Hansen is the only driver to win a qualifying session at all events so far this season. With increased commitment by Peugeot, the team look to be on an upward trajectory.
The team is doing really a good job. We worked on the cars, we worked on the organization, on everything, and it's doing a good job, but we are still a lot to improve.
We try to prepare things a bit differently than in the past, a bit more professional.
In Rallycross, we have two main things. The timing. Everything is very tight, very fast. Main target is to be on the pre-grid of the following race. And then, if you have an incident, a crash or mechanical problem, you have first to fix the car. Then the mentality of the guys have to be adapted to that, and that's the main challenge, really.
It's a new organization. We need to learn to work all together, but it seems that it works at the moment, so hopefully we can continue to improve a bit.
The level is going higher and higher for sure. We have really 10, 12 drivers which are very good. It's a big battle, I think, and very interesting and very good for the championship.
All the drivers share one thing. Speed Machine is a brand new World RX challenge for them all on this historic Silverstone track. Let's take a look at what awaits them. So here it is, the brand new Rallycross track at Silverstone Circuit in the UK. A very short circuit at 972 metres, 39% asphalt, 61% dirt. We ride on board with Kevin Eriksson. He exits the Joker here and straight over the start-finish line. Down to turn 1, it's an open hairpin right. Slot number 5 won't be as bad as some of the drivers seem to think. You can take the corner a bit quicker. Right out over the white line, the stewards have allowed them to go all the way to the wall for track limits before the right-left on gravel. A lot of handbrake from Eriksson to get it to turn into the left. It's off camera there, big jump. And then on the brakes, on the landing, you've got to make sure you get it turned in for the right-hander after the jump on tar. Back onto gravel, pulling gears really fast down here, and another open hairpin. Really tight and twisty layout Silverstone. Again, a lot of handbrake for Kevin Eriksson. Up then to the final pair of corners, split right for the Joker, split left for the standard lap. Look at the wall, super close on the right-hand side. How early do you dare to get on the gas? There's the merge and the start-finish line. The fans poured into the brand new Speed Machine event and were enjoying both the sunshine and the festival atmosphere even before the World RX drivers hit the track for Q1. Hopes were high for a home result with 3 UK drivers in the world field. Oliver Bennett continued to learn his trade. Andrew Jordan, a former podium finisher, was doing well until his suspension broke over the jump. He then clipped the barrier from the resulting damage and the car span and would go no further. Mark Higgins had a brilliant run himself until similar damage to the rear of the Albertech Run 208 meant he had to pull back to the starting grid. The World RX regulars, though, put on a hell of a show out front. Sebastian Loeb chasing Petter Solberg. Solberg back to his old sideways style. Loeb looking incredibly quick in the 208, but just could not find a way past. Solberg took Q1. Q2 and the Hansen brothers were side by side through the first 2 corners. Kevin, in the end, giving way to his older brother, Timmy. Timmy then hammered in the fast laps. Joker lap towards the end of the race, super sideways. How he got away with this, nobody quite knew. Banged the car down into first gear, up and over the line. Fastest time in Q2, a very impressive run. He maintains his record of winning a qualifying session at every event, but it wouldn't be enough to deny Petter Solberg the overnight top qualifier spot.
It's pretty good. Not perfect. I did a few mistakes, but at the end of the day, I did well. So I just have to improve for tomorrow, and then we see how the conditions are. But to be a top qualifier after first day is always a good feeling.
Petter Solberg then the overnight top qualifier for VW. Matias Eckstrom in the Audi P2. Hansen in the Peugeot P3. That's repeated with Bakkerud, Loeb and Kristoffersson, all the factory-back drivers in the top 6. Kevin Hansen 7th, Gronholm is 8th. Grosjean, Eriksson, Timosyanov and Rustad currently make the cut. But one mistake with a big entry like this and you won't make the semi-finals.
Okay, so the marshals are just telling Johan Kristoffersson that they're ready, so we'll just try and grab a quick word before he disappears off. How are you feeling this morning in 6th overnight, ready to attack for qualifying 3?
Yeah, I'm starting from inside line, so I will try to go for a good time, but the competition is very hard, but yeah, we'll see. Tricky conditions now in the warm-up, looks like, but we'll try our best.
It looks like there's standing water out there, so it could be extra slippery on the gravel.
Yeah, it's extra slippery on the gravel, and the grip level on the tarmac is not so bad, so it's very difficult to set up the car. But we will try a bit of a hybrid now, and then we'll see how it goes.
You quite like the wet, though, don't you? You've got extra skills.
Not extra skills, but I like the wet, that's for sure. But I mean, there's many guys which is very quick, so you just have to have a clean, free heat, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, good luck. Thank you, Owen. Okay, let's back up over here, see who else we can speak to. Well, if you spin round to the right, we've got Andreas Bakkerud. He's in his car already, getting a fist bump from his engineers. Let's see if we can keep going over here, Bob. See if we can have a quick word with Timmy Hansen. So Timmy was particularly impressive in Q2 yesterday, just having a quick word from his mum, Suzanne Hansen. If we can just dive in. Sorry, Suzanne. Sorry to interrupt. Could we just, what were you just saying to Timmy there before he sets off?
Yeah, we saw that it was really tricky conditions in the morning, and he needs to be very careful and just to see where the grip level is, and also to wait until the last minute to go out to have track conditions as close to Q3 as possible.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne. We might just try and get a quick word. If we can just dive in. Timmy, if you don't mind having a quick word. We understand that track conditions have got a little bit more slippy, but you were very, very good in Q2 yesterday. Can you repeat that in Q3?
Well, first of all, we have to do the warm-up, and we have to see how today feels. Track is very tricky right now, and then we have to follow the evolution of the track before we get into Q3. But of course, when you're going well, you want to be at least as good today.
And quickly, does the car feel particularly well suited to this short, tricky Silverstone track?
I think we're quite equally good as we've been on a few other circuits, and the car feels very natural to drive, and I think that's the key to why we've been fast in every race so far.
Okay, well, good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, let's just have a look around, see if anyone else is waiting to go out late. Well, the conditions are perfect right now, but I think there is rain on its way.
Hello, my name's Andrew Coley. I will be your commentator today. Joining me in the commentator box is a World RX regular, Guy Wilkes, reporting from the paddock and the spotters tower, Neil Cole. This is how they stand ahead of Q3. Petter Solberg having won the first session and Timmy Hansen the second. Eckstrom splits them. Always there at P2 in both. Bakkerud, Loeb, Kristoffersen, Kevin Hansen, Niklas Gronholm, Grosjean, Kevin Eriksson, Timmers Janov and Rustad are currently just inside the all-important top 12. First race of Q3, and the track was very, very greasy indeed. Mark Higgins, with broken suspension yesterday, was hoping to make up for those issues. Dry here, but at the very bottom corner of the hairpin, super slippery, and he lost significant time. Andrew Jordan also recovering from broken suspension yesterday. Very pleased to get the whole shot in his Q3 race. The MJP racing machine seemingly behaving better today. He held on to the checkered flag. Okay, we're already ready to go with race 3. The marshal down there heading across. You can see the teammate to Timmers Janov in the background, Gronholm with his door open. But Tommy Rustad on the inside, P12. Robin Larsson, P13. Timmers Janov, P11. Janis Baumanis, P14. Markin in P17, arguably a little bit too far off the back. But the 4 on the left-hand side of the grid there, well, everyone in this race with a chance to hold on to a semi-final slot.
This is absolutely key race of this qualifying
massive.
session.
Probably is, isn't it? You know, yes. The other guys, they're not secure. Nobody's secure, but yeah.
They're facing probably worse conditions. The pressure is on.
Here we go, 5 in a line down to turn 1. Really long hole, great start. Timmers Janov and Rustad on the inside as well. So Rustad with a big push down. Oh, contact for Markin in the background. Baumanis and Markin together. Timmers Janov pushed right to the apex by Markin. Got it bang on. Oh, look up the inside there. Eriksson was it who had to look up the inside to Rustad. But he knows Larsson going to look up the inside to Rustad. And Rustad leading from Larsson.
Exactly what Tommy Rustad needed. Wow, nice jump. You know, he needed to get this. He's in P12 overnight, so he needs a great result in this qualifying race.
Tommy Rustad, great to see him back, isn't it? You know, what a legend.
He is. He's an old-timer. He's been around the block. He's done so many different disciplines, but you can never discount him.
Mistake there, I think, from him. Last time, I'm a little bit surprised didn't go Joker. Timosyanov decides he wants to. To be fair, the guys who are behind him, okay, Balmanis goes in behind him. He's only going to come out behind Markland. He knows Markland's quick. You can kind of afford to take a risk on your Joker strategy when you know everyone in the race is fast.
Absolutely. Anton Markland was the one that sort of had to hang it out there. He was down overnight in P17, so he had to do a lot. That's why he was trying so hard off the start line, created a bit of carnage.
What about Timosyanov, like, you know, passenger, but like, I bet he was thinking, no. Oh, okay, actually, yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, it just released at the right time, and unfortunately for Anton, he got turned the wrong way just as it released the pressure on the car.
You can still see everybody moving the cars
really
around.
Struggling there.
Yeah, that's what you're okay. Last Joker this time. So watch for Markland. What does Markland do? Markland goes standing back. You can see the damage on the front of Markland's car from the contact. Larson pretty tidy.
Nice job by Robin Larson, the Joker then.
He's got great car control, Robin. Yeah, we've seen him at Hollius when he's had a bad one and been in an early race. Goes out and just sends it everywhere. The crowd love him. He's one of those
Tommy
guys.
Rustad fastest lap, and probably not a clean lap. Robin Larson, going back to him, he's being run by a team of guys from Sweden that have been very tight around family and friends in a car that he knew underneath him was Quattro S1, and now he's jumped into a car, Ford Fiesta, that he's really not familiar with. He just doesn't seem at home to me. Maybe it's starting to come towards him.
His social media pointed towards the fact that the last couple of races he's found them frustrating. So, Rustad, was that a bit of a last-minute one, or was that just a grip up suddenly when the grip changed? Markland goes in behind him.
I think he needs to go to cover off Larson, that's why he's gone.
So Rustad and Larson with a race on here. Rustad will surely move across and try and cover him off. He does. So Larson now, I think, you know, with the little hold-up he had at the start of the race, if he managed to get out in front, maybe had the pace. I mean, looking at lap times, it's pretty close, actually.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Rustad, yeah.
You know, obviously Rustad with a 41.254. You know, the other guys, Timothy Timosyanov, he's up there as well, 41.291.
Larson past Rustad, so Larson past Rustad. Moves up into the lead. Me and Guy Wilkes, unfortunately, both look at the timing screen there. It's just not what we needed. Trying to bring you a bit of analysis on. He's dropping on the brakes. Rustad almost was, I think, into the back, and again sideways, almost in the wall.
Desperation.
It's still tricky down there. Target time 2:58.9. Let's see how this track is developing. Racing up towards the line, and the time actually isn't going to be that much quicker. There's only 8/10 in it, so minus 0.874. A few mistakes in that which might have cost them a bit of time, but it's not getting that much quicker, but it is a little bit. You know, we're going to see the factory drivers hammer this home.
Yeah, obviously these cars here are privateer teams doing a cracking job, but at the same time they haven't got the resources that the factory teams that we're going to see coming to the grid now have.
Fans down at the back of the Stowe complex there. You can see some of the drift cars in the background too. Loads of activities going on here at Silverstone. Robin Larson, 2:58.1. Rustad, Timosyanov, Markland and Balmanis. And it is Larson who is now the target time. Rustad as well, slotting in front of Andrew Jordan. So these guys now will be hoping that the last two races either have a bit of carnage, you know, maybe a couple of first corner spinners. That could be what they need to push them slightly up the order, particularly that last race as we saw several drivers between. So let's have a look at this. We might see the Larson move as well that me and Guy missed. Apologies. Look at this. Look
coming
at
from the outside across to
Balmanis got tagged there too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's not having the best weekend, to be honest. Yeah, Anton just trying to get across the fighting position, but maybe asking a little bit too much.
A couple of strong cars there, Guy, as well. That's long, hard contact on the suspension down to turn one, also tyre contact, and both cars still in one piece. So
absolutely. I want to see how Robin Larson got past Tommy Rustad.
Yeah, we do. So this was Rustad over the jump. Now Rustad will Joker on the next lap, and we should see them tight together. This might be the finish. There they are through the Joker. So okay,
here we go. Oh, nice,
mega.
Robin Larson.
What a pass!
Opportunist. He was
really
ready
good
to jump on that, wasn't he?
That corner's off camber too. He normally got to be quite patient on the throttle, but he's got on the gas and just lit it up straight up the inside. But everyone's super sideways in the bottom hairpin. It's still tricky out there.
Robin, that's certainly the best overtake move we've seen so far this weekend, overtaking Tommy on the jump. But as you came towards me, your car is crabbing to the side.
Yeah, I got a damage in the first corner when I touched him. Then he went wide, as you see, and I overtook him. And that I thought I did a drive shaft or something because it just spinning. And yeah, this is straight, so it wasn't good. But I won the heat, so I beat the guys I needed to beat. So it was good, but yeah. Always good with the heat win.
I hope you get the steering straightened.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, this will be exciting for sure. Little move there from Jerome Kosichin as he clunks the car into gear. Johan Kristoffersson on the inside for Volkswagen. Next to him, Sebastian Loeb for Peugeot. Niklas Gronholm running the Hyundai. Jeroen Grosjean in the GCK McGann. Kevin Eriksson in the OMSC Ford. 5 drivers, all very fast. None of them with any respect needed for the others, other than not wanting to make a mess of qualifying. So these guys mostly secure in their positions. Kevin Eriksson is down in P10. Jeroen Grosjean in P9. Those further up the grid could take more of a risk, but they'd like to get a decent, safe result. Very even start. Kristoffersson and Loeb, though, hooked it up really nicely on the inside. I think Loeb's going to have to give way. Gronholm goes straight to the inside. Grosjean follows in. Kevin Eriksson going to try it around the outside. Not so spectacular as we've seen him do in the past. Going to end up P5. Gronholm shuts the door on Grosjean in. Loeb slots in behind Kristoffersson and we're away.
Very sensible by Sebastian Loeb then. You know, a lot of drivers we've seen try to go around the outside into turn 2. It isn't really possible. So, sensible head, as we would expect from the 9-time World Rally Champion, you know, to slot in behind.
Still the same from Timmy yesterday, Jimmy. If you lose the start, yeah, you know, show that you're not going to have it, but there's no point in showing it to the point of contact and retirement. You know, you're going to slot in.
Niklas Gronholm was he was at the back of Sebastian Loeb there. That's a really smart decision. Going to drop him out into free air now, and plenty of space to make up on the back of Grosjean.
A 6th and an 8th place for Gronholm yesterday. Him and Timmer's you know, new to these cars. Gronholm's doing a really, really good job. Timmer hasn't quite had it go the way that he'd like it to go, but I've been impressed with Gronholm. He said to me on Friday, he said, the problem I've had is I've had to learn every circuit. And actually, for him, don't forget, their car wasn't ready for the pre-season test. So Gronholm, on a new track, when everyone else has been here, really good comparatively.
He's doing a great job. I get on very well with his dad, and I have a few chats around the paddock in his dry way. I said, Niklas has really impressed me this year. And his dad sort of looked at me and went, yeah, he's doing a decent job.
Yeah, and, they're very understated, aren't they?
Very, but you know, lovely guys, and yeah, but he's really stepped it up this year. You know, from last year he was in obviously Ken Bloxall Ford Fiesta, fastest lap of the day. Now that is a big dent in the previous fastest lap of the day. We're going from 41s to a 39.955.
Right, so what we'd expect from the guy who's running the number 1 on the car. Johan Kristoffersson hasn't won a qualifying session so far this year. Will this be the one he does?
Bit of frustration from him just about his performance and not quite feeling. He's talking single percentage, you know, gain he's looking for out of himself in the car.
I love the fact he's not that happy and yet he's leading the World Rallycross Championship, you know, but that's Kristoffersson, you know, all over. He does not miss a trick, but I don't think he's going to miss a trick here. Loeb has decided to follow him, and I think that's a wise decision. When you can see the car in front of you gapping, there's not a lot of point in taking a risk necessarily on Joker. He doesn't really need to cover up. On board with Kevin Eriksson here, up towards the first corner.
Turn 1, you can see the line they're taking. It's more of a racing line, obviously clipping the apex and back to the outside. It's really one corner, turn 1, turn 2.
We're hearing there are drops of rain at certain points on the circuit. Whether that will come enough to affect the last race or not, that will play massively into Kristoffersson's hands if it rains just enough, but very random weather forecast for later on today.
They're just dropping Gronholm enough. He's not going to beat either of these two at the front that are now going to the Joker.
Okay, Kristoffersson goes in. Little bit of handbrake or not? Yes, the tiniest bit to get it rotated. Low behind, gets that Peugeot turned in. The Peugeot looks fantastic this year, but it's going to be the Volkswagen Polo that takes this one to 50.7. They have utterly destroyed the time of the previous heat. 7.351. That is absolutely massive. It's nearly 2 seconds a lap. Wow.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. But also you have to just remember that the engineering that these guys have behind them, they've got multiple engineers and massive data to draw down on.
Brilliant, brilliant time by Kristoffersson and Sebastian Loeb right with him. Niklas Gronholm kind of in the middle on his own. Grosjean and Kevin Eriksson towards the rear of that one. See where they slot in. You should see, in fact, there you go, all in front. So Larson was beaten by all 5 of those drivers. I wasn't sure about Grosjean and Eriksson, but they've got it done. So good result for them. And can remember as well, Grosjean and Eriksson were towards the bottom of the top 12, so nicely done. Okay, another look at the start then. So, sensible stuff from Loeb here.
It was clean from everyone. Everybody was sensible. Sebastian got his nose ahead, but decided, you know, on the outside, I'm going to slot back in behind Johan. He knows Johan and trusts him. His pace is going to be fast. Doesn't want to trip himself up.
That right-hander at turn 2, you know, before the left, before the jump, to go around the outside there, you've really always got to be half a car in front, haven't you, to be able to pull it off.
The whole way from turn 1, you have to be half a car in front.
If you're level, it's not enough, is it? Because you just end up putting a wall.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
They'll just shut the door on you. So Kristoffersson and Loeb, masterclass in driving. 1 race still to go. Will the time stay?
Johan, you've absolutely smashed every other time so far this morning. You must like the slippery conditions.
Yeah, it's I like it, but I have to say it's very, very, very tricky. Breaking into T7, I made a mistake this morning, and I saw that Sebastian catch up on me, and there you can gain a lot of time, but if you make the smallest mistake, you can lose 1 second quickly. So we'll see. It looks like it starts to rain a little bit now, which will be in my favor, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but it might affect the guys coming in the final race.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they will be very quick, but I would like to have that 50 points.
Here's the grid then for race 5 of Q3. Timmy Hansen on the inside, then Matias Eckstrom, Petter Solberg, Andreas Bakkerud and Kevin Hansen. So we've got 2 Audis and 2 Peugeots. You can expect to cooperate. Solberg won't be playing fair with any of them. He'll want to be beating them all. 7th for Kevin Hansen after Q2, great result. Everybody else right up at the sharp end, but we have got a few drops of rain falling right now. Although the sun is shining at this moment, it's a little bit of rain. That might play into Kristoffersen's hands. Let's see. Solberg will want to beat the teammates. The teammates will want to help each other out. Who's going to get away from the line? It's really even against Solberg, though, gunning it down to turn 1. Hooks the polo up, shuts the door on Hansen. Hansen's going to hold on for P2. Bakkerud looking into the side. I think Timmy will be sensible here and get P2 if he's lucky. Bakkerud going to try and go round the outside. This is what we said. He's got to watch out. Timmy doesn't shut the door. Timmy's going to try and do it. And that's exactly what we said.
Kevin's
Timmy now,
as well.
Timmy drops to P4. Eckstrom down in P5. That's exactly what we said in the last race, guy. If you want to go around the outside, you've got to be half the time front. Bakkerud executed that really beautifully.
And you have to be brave. And that's what Andreas Bakkerud has been noted for, and he's starting to get more and more comfortable with this new Audi to him.
Oh, contact, look, so Timmy nudges the wall, Eckstrom nudges Timmy. Who's going to go joking? Timmy goes straight, Eckstrom goes with him. Yeah. So Matias goes with him. Totally different styles on the way in. Those two know now they're going to close down the guys who are out front. But the other thing about that move in turn 2 and Bakkerud is you've got to know the other drivers will give you the respect, and they did.
We're talking about 5 fully professional rallycross drivers here, but what a start by Petter Solberg. He nailed that.
Absolutely hooked up. They got the setting bang on, didn't they? Solberg flies the jump massively. Bakkerud behind them, 2 Norwegians. Kevin Hansen here doing such a good job too.
This will be making Andreas Bakkerud very happy inside the car. He has been bang on the pace on the first opening lap.
On board with Petter Solberg now. There we go, the classic mouth open pose. That's when he's really, really concentrating. You used to see that in rallying a lot. He's on a big, big push here. He's a short circuit guy, but it's really physical. We saw Eckstrom come off yesterday out of breath. There's so much going on in the car.
You can see how he's short shifted then on the gravel. This thing's got so much torque. He pulled 2 gears in probably less than a second. It was bang, bang, get the thing, getting grip and fire it up. Use the torque in the engine.
He's rubbing the nose of the bumper around the inside of the barriers. Absolutely
There's not
fantastic.
enough rain here to bother him.
No, the sun's out now. If anything, you know, that could make the difference in the other way. We're talking drops of rain. Kristoffersen, I know, will be watching the timing screens to see if his 250.769 will stand. We're on lap 3 or 4. You're on board with a legend of motorsport. Double World Rallycross champion, of course, and a World Rally Championship prior to that. Kevin Hansen Jokers. Okay, Kevin Hansen Jokers. Timmy Hansen at the minute is looking like he would get the undercut, though, on Solberg. So Hansen's times are looking. Timmy Hansen is
Timmy's
looking like he's 10th up.
He's the fastest on track at the moment. He is indeed.
So Eckstrom's gone through 2. Kevin Hansen was on the back, of course, of the row of 3 cars. Timmy and Matias jokering earlier on in the race. Right, this is going to come right down to the wire. Solberg has gone over the jump. You're seeing Timmy over it now. It's showing 0.6. Timmy's taken another half second off him. Right down to the line. Then Solberg through the right-hander. He's going to have to do an absolutely fantastic joke if he wants to hold on for the win here. Timmy chasing down the target time. Bottom right of your screen. 2:51.7. Solberg is tidy. Bakkerud 2. But the Peugeot's on a flyer on the main lap. It's going to be a race down to the line. Solberg's in the dust. Hansen took it up. Going to be so close. Timmy comes across the line in front. Timmy Hansen takes the win. But a 2:52.9 is not enough. Johan Kristoffersen wins his first qualifying session of the year.
I could have thrown my hat over the 5 of those cars.
So good. It's so close this year, Guy.
It was brilliant, and different manufacturers.
Yeah, I would love it. I love it.
You know
Solberg's come out of that joke. He's not, no, because he's just there. He's within grasp, you know. Brilliant. Timmy Hansen, 2:52.9. Petter Solberg at 2:53.2. Look, 3:10. Then a 2:53.5. Like Guy said, you could throw a hat over them. Solberg, Eckstrom, Bakkerud, Kevin Hansen. Absolutely brilliant. They slot in. Look, Kristoffersen and Lober at the top of the table, but Timmy, Petter, Matias going there. Bakkerud and Kevin Hansen down in 7th and 8th. So Nicholas Gronholm doing a good job to be up in 6th there. Fantastic racing. Fantastic racing. Let's take a look at that start from Petter Solberg. Guy, well, you know,
It's 70 metres, and he's cutting across. He's got a car length in 50 to 70 metres. That was absolutely
bang on the settings, and a good reaction time, clearly.
Great reaction time, bang on the settings, a little bit of wheel spin, then traction.
So
Let's watch on board here. Watch, see if we...
You can see the gloves as well. Note the gloves with the Union flag on. Petter always has the flag of the country he's racing on his gloves. This was the
sideways there in the Joker.
It was the dirt here. You see where he's trying. There's just that bit of dirt. And even without it, I think if Hansen was pulling another gear, he would have out-dragged him to the line.
He wasn't where he lost it. Timmy was just driving faster lap times. He was more consistent.
Here are the standings then after 3 of 4 qualifying sessions. Petter Solberg took Q1, Timmy Hansen took Q2, but it is Johan Kristoffersson who takes Q3. Eckstrom there in P3, hasn't won any of the sessions but has been there all the while. Sebastian Loeb is 5th, Andreas Bakkerud is 6th, so we maintain the same form we had in Belgium with the factory cars right at the top. Niklas Gronholm's gone up 1 place ahead of Kevin Hansen, great job by him. Jerome Grosjean, Kevin Eriksson, Tommy Rustad and Timo Timosjanov are currently in. Robin Larsen said he'd beaten the people he needed to beat, but you can see he's just not quite there, that little points difference, but it's still going to be close for the final slots in the semi-finals. Well, a brand new circuit at Silverstone in the UK. So a great opportunity, I think, to look at some of the techniques needed to hustle a supercar around it. This is Yannis Baumanis and Guy Wilkes. These pictures from free practice when it was so slippery.
Yes, as you can see in the dirt section, it's a true dirt section here. It is actually cement impregnated underneath the surface, so it's very hard, but there is dirt on top here, and it makes it very slippery when it gets damp. We do expect that to clean when it gets dried up. But you can see, obviously, the back of the car down here, getting great traction out the corner there.
Jerome Grosjean this is, and this is that section again. So again, in the wet, you can see how long they're having to wait to get on the gas, and then there's a long straight on the exit of this. So I guess you've got to run it quite close to the wall.
Yes, you do, but actually it's a little bit of a later apex. You can see where they've been rubbing the tyres right there.
Tommy Rustad, good to see him back in a world round. He's doing a couple of appearances this year. I think he'll be in Norway as well, being run by Mark. And these tyre barriers, Guy, we can see where people have been rubbing them down the inside. But again, during free practice, a lot of people missing their markers because of how slippery it was.
Absolutely, when it dries out, you'll expect the front of the car, the nose of the car, just to be skimming that, not grabbing it too much, because it can grab the car and it'll stall the front of the car and rotate the rear.
So here's our first look at the jump. Timo Timosjanov. Very glad to have him here. He got his visa as a professional sportsman, I think, the day before the event started.
Nothing like living it late.
No, exactly. Hustling over the jump. That's not the biggest jump we've seen. He's quite early there, but again, because in the greasy conditions, I guess they've got to get it stopped for the right-hander.
Absolutely, they do indeed. And, you know, you don't want to force yourself into a mistake, and you can easily do that by doing too big a jump, flying too far, and having to stand on the brakes immediately when you land.
Lovely shot there of Timo coming through the last couple of corners, and you can see the conditions here were slightly drier, although you wouldn't know it from Timosjanov's line.
Yeah, you maybe wouldn't. Slightly a little bit too wide in exit, but they're testing the grip levels. It's so important that the drivers test the grip levels and change the car as well to find out what works on the track. You can't always come with the same setup from a previous circuit.
Sebastian Loeb, the winner last time out in Belgium. Will the Peugeot be on the pace here as well in Silverstone? Testing stuff during free practice. Loeb on the brakes here. Miss a braking point in those greasy conditions, he had gone, and this is him in the same corner as Timosjanov. Totally different line, Guy.
Yeah, look how early he gets the car turned in and the back of the car floating into the corner, oversteer, but when he comes out of the corner, the car is completely neutral. Very little steering input after he sees the apex.
Loeb's on fire this year. Could he pick up that 10th World Championship? Andreas Bakkerud with an absolutely massive jump. The fans are going to enjoy that for sure. One session of racing left to go ahead of Q4. This is how they stand. Petter Solberg, the top qualifier from Timmy Hansen, Matias Eckstrom, Johan Kristoffersson, who took Q3. Loeb, Bakkerud, Gronholm and Kevin Hansen currently the top 8. Jerome Grosjean, Kevin Eriksson, Tommy Rustad and Timo Timosjanov. Look at Larsen, though. He's desperately chasing that last spot in the semis. Starred teammates Janis Baumanis and Martin Hart were both in the first race of Q4. Baumanis got the whole shot, but Baumanis not feeling very well this weekend, out of sorts, and not on the pace we're used to seeing from the Latvian. A win, though, regardless. Race 2 saw Tamas Karai in the tyre barrier at turn 1. That left Mark Higgins to lead. Oliver Bennett looking to try and follow him, but it was de Moustier who slotted into second place. Bennett, unfortunately, breaking the rear of his car later on in the race and retiring. Mark Higgins a little bit wide in the Joker lap, but finishing the race and indeed the weekend with a heat race win. 5 cars on the line. Race 3 ready to go in Q4. Robin Larsson on the inside with Tommy Rustad next to him. Larsson passed Rustad on the last lap in their last encounter. Andrew Jordan, P19, Timur Timosyanov, P12, Anton Markland, P15. So watch for Rustad in 11th, Timur in 12th, Markland and Robin Larsson at 15th, 13th. AJ, I think he's just a little way too back, but they've thrown new boots on the car anyway. Timur's taken 2 new ones on the right, so they're obviously not looking to stress those too much. Waiting for the off. Guy, these guys will know the pressure is on a little bit, because right now is when you're really disappointed if you just miss out. Larsson, you know, P13, and he needs a really good result here, because Timosyanov's about 3 points ahead of him.
Elbows out, here we go. This is going to be great down the first corner. I expect some bumping and margin.
Oh, Andrew Jordan's gone a little way backwards. Rustad's lit it up nicely. Jordan slots in, I think, behind Timosyanov. He does. Timosyanov and Rustad. Larsson, have a look up the inside. Rustad's on the handbrake. That should give Larsson an opportunity. Andrew Jordan gets the undercut. The Englishman is up the inside on the way down into turn 2. Pushes Rustad slightly wide. Andrew Jordan fighting hard for it here. Oh, broken steering. Disastrous weekend for Andrew Jordan. It just hasn't gone his way. I think he's going to park that. Rustad leads from Larsson, but Larsson will be keen to pass him, and he's away again. So what's Andrew got wrong with the car? Can he make it work?
Right.
Ah, denied.
I just, when he slipped at the inside, I knew he had to be forceful to keep off the tyres, and I don't know if he just got pushed into the tyres and that broke something.
Well, good to see him fighting anyway. Yeah, Larsson into the Joker lap. So Larsson needs to get past these guys. Larsson is P13 at the minute. Ahead of him is Timur Timosyanov in P12 and Tommy Rustad in P11. He needs to beat these two guys.
It's in his hands now, because he's got a free track, as does Tommy Rustad. Markland and Timur's probably going to gain on Markland a little bit. He's getting held up just maybe not a fraction yet. He's not quite close enough.
Ideally, ideal result here is for Larsson is to get in front of these and hope that Markland does too. Because of course Markland's out of the picture. He would nick a point off both of them, and he might just stand a chance going through. He really needs Timosyanov, who's the nearest man to him, to be the furthest back. Andrew Jordan's out of the car. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. But there you go. Timosyanov, Joker lap for the Russian in the Hyundai.
And now we're going to see this race with Larsson. Larson's done him.
He has. Larsson's done him comprehensively. So Larsson has got him.
He has to be super controlled, but really, really aggressive.
So he'll be hoping, as I say, that somebody else can get past him. I think Rustad might. Rustad at the minute, I say, is another position in front of Timur. So fighting here for the last. Oh, Markland climbs the tyres on the inside. Markland's not been on the same form we've seen in the Euros, I think, this year. And whether the track hasn't come to him, I don't know. But he's a very good driver, and he's certainly a guy. He seems to perform at his best when he's back in the family team.
Yes, absolutely. And Tommy Rustad's driving his old car from last year, and Anton's in a brand new car, so he won't be too pleased about Tommy beating him. But at the same time, we know it's not easy off the start line. But Tommy got a great start, got himself out front, dragging some clean laps in now.
Rustad crosses the line. Markland remains P2. Both those guys still to Joker. Top left, if you're new to the sport, you've got your tick on Timosyanov and Larsson. That means they've taken it. Everybody else has not. Tyres are out of place down at turn 1.
Larsson must have made a mistake off. Larsson must have made a mistake off camera.
Yeah, good point.
So
where's Larsson?
He's doing the fastest lap on lap 2, and then he's just dropped 3.5, if not 3.7 seconds. So he's made a mistake.
Oh, and that is very likely to cost Larsson his place in the semi-finals. Rustad into the Joker. Markland goes in with him. Racing to the line now. The target time is 2:54.8. How quick is Rustad? He is quick enough. Rustad goes top so far of Q4. He pushes Baumanis off that point by 0.8 of a second. That mistake from Larsson, which we might see in the replays. Larsson dropping himself down the order, and I think with that probably not going to make it through to the semi-finals. In the background, disappointed, and I think it's fair to say frustrated, Andrew Jordan. Tommy Rustad takes it from Timosyanov, Anton Mark and Robin Larsson at DNF for Andrew. Rustad goes top, Timozyanov slots into fourth, Larson a long way down. Look at the points in between. Timozyanov there has pretty much guaranteed himself that slot number 12, and Larson looks like he's out. So a couple of races still to go. These are going to be for the grid positions, because these guys are very likely to make it through unless they retire from the race. So we don't know what happened to Larson. I don't think we're going to see it, unfortunately. This is the run down to turn 1.
Yeah, just watch where Andrew Jordan sneaks up the inside here, and let's just see if it's contact from Larson there a little bit, and a little bit more from Rustad.
Yeah.
It was Rustad, the second one. It wasn't really that hard, was it?
It was worth a look, though, wasn't it? You know,
absolutely.
You've got to go
the
for
door
it.
was wide open.
Yeah.
He had to go.
Yeah, Markman with the damage on the car. I think that was actually from the previous session, the damage on Markman's car, but there we go. Rustad got it over the line, but I think the story here is that Timozyanov is highly likely to go through, and Larson is highly likely not to.
Tommy, you must be very pleased. It looks like you've made your way into the semis in the World Rallycross Championship.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. This is my first race of the year, and I only had a shakedown with the car before this race. So all the other ones have been competing 3 races before Silverstone, so I'm very, very happy. So this is a perfect way maybe to finish my career, because this is my last season in Rallycross.
Yeah, we wish you well in the semis then.
Yeah, thanks.
Race 4 of Q4 is on the line. Let's see the lineup for this encounter. Niklas Gronholm on the inside, having a fantastic weekend. 7th after Q3. Andreas Bakkerud is 6th. Kevin Hansen is 8th. Jerome Grosjean in 9th. Well done, Jerome. Confidence booster. Kevin Eriksson in 10th as well. 2 new boots on Eriksson's car, but Eriksson had a bad pre-start just a moment ago. Is he going to get a better start in the race?
2 new tyres on the left-hand side for Kevin Eriksson's car, round the outside.
Okay, there we go. Guy Wilkes is calling it. Kevin Eriksson's going from round the outside for slot number 5. You're on board with him now. Loads the handbrake up. Look at the leverage on that thing. Getting himself ready to go. He's got to get a good launch if he wants even the remotest chance. Very even start. Don't know if Eriksson's going to be near enough. Kevin Hansen gets squashed out through the back. Kevin Eriksson's going to go deep, and he's going to have a look. Guy Wilkes is right. Eriksson tries round the outside, almost out to the wall, but it's going to get covered off by Grosjean in on the inside. Gronholm has a look to try and pass him, but can't. We ride on board now with Kevin Eriksson.
Yeah, he probably didn't get a good enough start on the pre-grid to scrub those tyres enough. Probably felt a little bit greasy, the car underneath him, with lacquer on the tyres when they're brand new. But as we ride on board, we're off on board now. We're back with Andreas Bakkerud. He needs a good run, doesn't he? Just to get himself. Obviously, he's in semi-finals if he finishes the races, but he wants to be a good grid slot for a semi-final.
Bakkerud had a couple of brilliant runs, didn't he, in Portugal? I think it was that he won 2 sessions. The car really looked like it's underneath him, but as you said earlier on this weekend, that's Matias Eckstrom's car. Bakkerud's got to find a way either to drive it in the Matias style or to make the car come to him, and that's not the work of 2 or 3 events.
No, absolutely not, but we're watching now Kevin Eriksson and Kevin Hansen, the 2 Swedes. Kevin, his pace has been good. He's just getting dropped by Kevin Eriksson there, so let's see what happens.
Is there a problem for,
I don't think so. I just think it's just got a gap and can't close it, with Andreas Bakkerud knocking in the fastest lap there of the day, down into the 39s. Now we're seeing the.
They definitely won't be closing the gap on him then, will they? So good job by Bakkerud so far. Big push, just as we were saying, has he got the car underneath him? It's starting to look like he's feeling very comfortable indeed in the S1 machine. Jerome Grosjean is under a fair bit of pressure here from Gronholm. Now, I don't know whether Gronholm should maybe have joked there. I guess he's going to worry about the guys behind, but 2.4, look back to 6 seconds. I think if he joked there, he would have fallen into the clutches of Eriksson and Hansen, but now he hasn't joked, Guy. He's going to lose a bit more time, and they're almost certain to get eaten up by those 2 cars chasing the background.
Gronholm's all over the back of him. Kevin Hansen just knocked the fastest lap in. He's got a free track. But as does Andreas Bakkerud, in fact. But Niklas Gronholm's knocking in some good times. He's down in the 39.8s. Kevin Hansen's down 39.7. Niklas Gronholm really needs to get away from this car in front of him.
That's the view from Gronholm, and he needs some clear air. If Grosjean goes, he won't. He does.
A bit of indecision.
Yeah, I would have just gone to it. But again, it's easy, isn't it? Standing here saying it's not so easy in the car. He might have been listening for the spotter. It's a lap too late. It's a lap too late, Guy.
Indeed it is, and I just said he had good pace second lap, and those are split-second decisions that can really ruin your race or make a race.
Really, really calm look. His inputs are really smooth and quite measured in the car.
That shows the car's really to his liking. He likes the setup, he's confident. When you see smaller inputs to the steering wheel, that means the car is underneath the driver.
See him leaning on it through turn 1 on the way in, and then opening the gas up and running the car out to the wall. You knew what it's going to do. So
trusted it.
Great stuff. Bakkerud into the Joker lap on the last lap. Target time 2:53.9. We saw these quick guys destroy the earlier guys' times in the previous qualifying session. What's going to happen this time out?
Bakkerud crosses the line, 2:49.1, great stuff. 4.8 seconds faster. And once you get to those last two races, you really see the class of the very best of the World Rallycross Championship coming through.
You don't see them on the screen, but the importance of the spotters who are right next to us up in the television commentary box, that's why they play a massive part in the role of the driver in the result.
2:49.1 for Bakkerud. Kevin Eriksson, Kevin Hansen managing to get past Grosjean and Gronholm with their Joker lap tactics. And that's where they slot in. Look, all five, in fact, faster than Tommy Rustad. So the last two races here are so fast. So this was the start, Guy. We saw Kevin didn't really get it. Not even there, though. And this is what we said, or certainly you said. Mark Kinghart it was, wasn't he? He said in the press conference, I don't mind slot 5. If Kevin had got the start there, I think that with that long round the outside move, it could be possible. It's not going to be an Estering one, is it? It's not going to be on the handbrake. No. And everyone who used the handbrake loses out to turn 2.
Yes, because you lose forward momentum. You're basically breaking the grip of the car from going forwards to making it go sideways as soon as you pull the handbrake. You're losing forwards energy. So, yes, Andreas Bakkerud in the Joker here probably would have liked it a little bit neater, but at the same time, job done.
Good stuff, Bakkerud. There are 5 very fast cars waiting in the pre-grid. Can they beat him?
Andreas, that was very impressive. Your quickest so far, and it looks like you were super comfortable in the car.
Yeah, it actually felt pretty good. Finally, I was P1 into the first corner. I could drive my own race. It was crucial. I didn't have such a good feeling, but I think it's okay. It was very slippery in turn 8 from mid-corner and to the exit, so really strange. So we will see now where we end up, but okay, I take this.
See you in the semis.
It is the final race of qualifying here at round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, and what a race it is. On the inside, the world champion Johan Kristoffersson. Next to him, Sebastian Loeb, who won last time out in Belgium. Timmy Hansen has won a qualifying session at every round of the World Championship this year. You can never count out Peter Solberg, and he tops the standings right now. Matias Eckstrom is in 3rd. They're all on used tyres, so they're obviously hoping to save some new ones for the semi-finals. Who is going to take top qualifier? Thumbs up, gears in, anti-lag on. Eyes up to the light gantry. The crowd are in position. The drivers are good to go. The low rumble of the VWs against the high RPM of the Peugeots. Green light, very inside. Hansen's hooked it up really nicely. Kristoffersson now on the inside too. Loebs gets squashed. Eckstrom all the way up the inside. In the rear. Ekstrom's going to try and undercut. Lovely start by Matias Eckstrom, but Kristoffersson somehow finds enough traction to get it back past him. Loebs up the inside of Hansen. Hansen will give way to him. Solberg ends up back in the back of the pack. And that's not good for Solberg. He's just a couple of points in the lead on the top qualifier spot, so Solberg may be Joker, Guy.
It's not good for Solberg, but at least it's clean. He didn't take any impacts. Matias Eckstrom, we saw quite a heavy impact in the front left as he muscled out into turn 2. But as we see...
Hansen, yeah, actually, I thought Hansen was just going a bit defensive there. Is anybody going to Joker? Eckstrom!
Wow.
Eckstrom straight to the Joker from P2. Wants a bit of space, Solberg goes in. Good decision from Solberg and Eckstrom, because one was P2, one was P5. Hansen's on the go slow. I think he's lost a load of time.
Yes,
look
he is
how much
indeed.
Hansen's fallen back into the clutches of Eckstrom already. Look at that
here now.
Timmy Hansen then appears to have a problem in the 2-8. Either that or he made a mistake. Eckstrom's trying to go around the outside if we can't. Timmy's going to hold him up, and of course that's because he knows loads.
He's trying to squeeze on the inside. That's not going to happen there. Timmy's...
Eckstrom doesn't like this, does he?
No, he's going to drive down the middle as well because he wants a time. So he's quite within his rights to do that. And Matias Eckstrom is going to have to fight like hell. He's already used his Joker strategy, so he's going to hope that Timmy Hansen goes there. But I know Timmy Hansen probably won't because Sebastian Loeb is ahead of him on the road.
Yeah, and when you look at qualifying, Ekstrom's currently P3 and Loeb is down in P5, so this is costing Eckstrom.
This is really knackered his race.
Oh, he's going to have a look up the inside. He's going to be livid. Eckstrom is not going to like this at all. Fastest lap of the day, Sebastian Loeb looking to move himself up the qualifying. Timmy Hansen.
Matias Ekstrom's trying everything. He's using every bit of racecraft. He cannot.
But Guy, I think he's being impatient. So coming onto the start,
he has to be impatient. He's fighting time here. This is almost like a final. He wants a front row right
he's
now.
He's not going to be happy. I promise you, Ekstrom will not be happy.
And if he's not careful, obviously Petter's in the back of him. If he's not careful trying to get a gap past Timmy Hansen, he's going to give his place away to Solberg.
This could cost. This I think is going to cost Solberg top qualifier. It could well cost Ekstrom too. I don't think his tactics from Timmy. I think he's got a problem, but he's doing exactly what he should do. He goes to the Joker, but it should be enough. But Kristoffersson was in P4, Loeb was in P5. Could either of them take the TQ spot. What a turn up in the final race.
Yeah, not what Matias Eckstrom wanted because he was so smart in turn 1.
Down into that second corner. Look at the speed they're carrying. Stand it on its nose, turn it in, rubbing the barriers on the inside. We're on the last lap. Christopherson and Loeb, look, it's going to be so close between them on the Joker predictor down at the bottom of your screen. They come down and Christopherson runs the bumper across, comes into the Joker lap. He's tight on the inside. Onto the tarmac, onto the gas, pulling the gears. Christopherson is going to take it. Will he get the fastest time? Dust flies up. Johan crosses the line. He takes Q4, does he? 2:48.1 is enough. It's enough. Christopherson by 0.9 of a second from Loeb, Eckstrom, Solberg. Hansen finishes last, but having played his part big time, what is that going to mean for the standings? Wow.
Unbelievable. It was playing into Matias Eckstrom's hands after the first corner because he didn't get the best start. The other 4 cars out-dragged him. But after that, I don't really know. Timmy Hansen
got a good start. Do you know, and the start was good, so we obviously didn't have an issue on the line. And as I say, I'm certain that wasn't tactics.
Well, who knows?
Well, indeed.
You're quite within your rights to do that. You know, you're racing, and he wants as good a time because he's guaranteed, if he finishes the race, to go through to semi-finals. Why wouldn't you? He's fighting for himself and Peugeot.
Christopherson takes the win, 2:48.1 from Loeb on 2:48.8. Eckstrom, Solberg, both held up by Timmy Hansen. Hansen's going to drop way down the order here. He should still make it through to the semi-finals because Timmy was in P2, and I can't believe that he wouldn't have gone for the chance of top qualifier. So a problem for Timmy Hansen has meant that both Eckstrom and Solberg have suffered. Christopherson and Loeb have moved to the top. Look at the difference between them, 5 seconds, and that was all behind Timmy Hansen's stricken Peugeot.
Let's watch off the start line. Matias Eckstrom, he decides very early on, watch, bang, now, right across the inside.
Lovely move, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
I mean, he nearly got that done all the way to the front.
We would expect no less than him. Now watch it down here as a bit of a bump and barge, okay, we didn't see it all the way through.
I wondered, could it be a jump landing from Tim? We don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah, but he lost a percentage of power, or, you know, from the car.
And just a word here, because Timmy, yeah, you know very well, Matias Eckstrom or Johan Christopherson have exactly that spare capacity to go, I've got a problem here, but I can affect the qualifying for my teammates. And while none of them like it when it's done to them, they're all perfectly capable of doing it to others.
And they're employed by a manufacturer to do a job.
They are.
At the end of the day, they would all do the same.
What's it going to mean for the overall standings?
Johan, this is just like last year, you know, slightly quiet Saturday and then bang, bang, top qualifier Sunday.
Yeah, maybe not this year, but definitely had better Sundays and Saturdays so far this year. And I have to say I'm really happy to be winning both qualifyings today. It was a tough day yesterday, so nice feeling with the car. Track conditions are very tricky because they're changing a lot. So, but anyway, really nice to be fast in both today.
So you're top qualifier, which gives you a great position for the first semi-final.
Yeah, that feels very nice. I didn't know I was top qualifier, so that's okay. That's even better.
Breaking news. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right, here are the standings then after Q4. Johan Christopherson with the win in Q3 and Q4 takes the top qualifier spot from Sebastian Loeb. Both Solberg, who was P1, and Eckstrom, who was P3, have moved down to P3 and P4. Bakkerud moves up to 5th. Hansen holds on to 6th, but look at his point score in Q4. A disaster for him, and he was 2nd, so Hansen could have made it up. He's down just in front of his brother Kevin. Niklas makes it through in 8th. Great job by Gronholm. Kevin Eriksson, Jerome Grosjean, Tommy Rustad, fantastic. Not a World Championship regular. Massive entry here. Makes it through to the semi-finals. Timasiano in 12th. Larson, as we thought, missed out, as does everybody else beneath him. None of the Brits making it through. Bit of a shame for them at home, but hopefully we'll see some of them racing in the World Rallycross Championship later on this year. Fantastic crowd here at Silverstone, and you can see what they're looking at. They are looking at the pre-grid for the semi-finals. All the drivers and cars and teams are down there, ready to go. It's very hot here, but it's overcast, it's quite muggy, and, you know, there's been a chance of a thunderstorm at 3 p.m. all day long, according to the weather, so what are we going to get? Neil Cole is down with the VW drivers. Let's go and have a catch-up.
Well, everything's quite chilled here at the front. You're, of course, front row of the semi-final, the first semi-final. Have you discussed team tactics into turn 1? Because it can get pretty crazy in there.
First thing is to not touch each other at all. I think that's the key. Try to have it clean as possible.
Yeah, that's basically it. It would be stupid if we didn't have a plan. But the normal plan is always doesn't matter who it is, to don't touch each other and have a clean T1, T2, T3, and from there on we'll see. I mean, they water the track a little bit, so it'll be tricky, but we'll do our best.
Luckily the skies haven't watered the track yet. There are some big clouds coming in, but your progress to the semi-finals has not been that straightforward, has it?
No, you know, it's a hard sport. It's a hard competition, and everybody wants to be in the top, you know. So, but I think we have done pretty well and been quite smart through the whole session. So, but we are not alone. It's so many others who really pushes and really want to have different strategies. But we're here now, and let's do the best we can.
Which one of you two is going to win the final? They're getting ready.
Yeah, I'm making it clear. I'm about to leave because I'm putting on a balaclava. There's no bank robbing going on, but he wants to rob the big trophy. He's just, you know, just the hint, isn't it? And the other thing is, it's like he wants to be ready. Balaclava on. You can see Solberg then is itching. Right, I want to put my balaclava on. You know.
You can tell who's the reigning champion there.
Yeah, you can. And the wink to the side. He wouldn't answer the question. Solberg's walked off, but a wink to the camera when Solberg shoots it back.
Told us with his eyes.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Fantastic to see so many people here. I really hope the weather holds off. I say it's been threatening all weekend. The forecast has been threatening, but we're really, really hoping that it will hold off here. From the fans' point of view, I've got to say I don't mind from a racing point of view if it goes pretty wild. Niklas Gronholm with a thumbs up. Gronholm's qualified P8. It's a good job by him in the Hyundai. Timosyanov P12, so both those cars through. Looking very relaxed. And of course Niklas is in semi-final number 2, so those guys that are getting ready for semi-final number 1, which is up first. The crowd are coming back to the stands. We've got just a few races to go to round out round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. Really looking forward to this, Guy Wilkes. We've had a decent weekend so far. Hold on, actually, because Neil Cole has just managed to grab Matias Eckstrom, so we're going to go down and have a chat with him.
So, Matias, you've got Sebastian Loeb alongside you in semi-final 2, but I guess you'll be watching some of semi-final 1 quite closely because Petter and Johan are at the front row of that.
Yeah, I think it's always good to look and learn, and normally I race really good with Sebastian, so that should be a good one.
And tell us about this circuit. How are you finding it? Are you adapting quickly?
No, I think the conditions have been really good and been a bit more slippery today than yesterday, but generally track is in top condition.
As are you. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
Eckstrom looking comfortable. Masses of fans here, so it's really hot, and these guys are hopefully heading back towards the track. 1 or 2 having a look at the fantastic array of cars we've got on display here. Everything from supercars through to Group B rally cars. There's a whole host of machinery from Pro Drive as well here. Really, really cracking event atmosphere. There's the people up on the Monster Energy rig right up at turn 1. They've got a brilliant view there. Neil Cole's got Timmy Hansen. Maybe we're going to find out what happened to him in Q4.
Timmy, you seem very, very relaxed as we head towards semi-final 2, which you are in. You'll be behind your teammate. What can you do from 3rd on the grid?
I think I can do quite a lot. The inside have proved to be very good here. So I think it's better to start 3rd than 2nd. Hopefully I can have a good launch and the things in my favor. But I haven't given up on winning today. So I'll give it my all from the first lap in the semi until the last lap in the final.
Okay, good luck, Timmy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Timmy not giving up. Sebastian Loeb, the winner last time out. Little grin.
Yeah, just a bit of fun going on, a bit of
gamesmanship maybe.
Indeed, to his
Solberg,
old rivalry, Petter. We know who's had the run of the results.
Well, the number 9 on the side of the car says it, doesn't it?
Yes,
really?
It does indeed. That's a reminder to everyone, obviously, of his 9 World Championships.
He's always late in the car, Loeb, isn't he? He's always late in the car. Like last week, I saw him call into practice the other day. He had no belts, no lid, no nothing on. Yeah,
He's been there. He's done it all. He's done this. He's done circuit racing. He's done Le Mans. You know, he's done touring cars. He's got so much experience.
We've had so many good press conferences with him and Loeb. Solberg and Loeb, where, you know, Solberg's always like, oh, it hasn't been quite so good to be beaten by Loeb over the last, 9 years. And Loeb's always like, it's good for me.
So much history to draw on between them, isn't there?
Brilliant. Really, really looking forward to this. Semi-finals and finals coming up at round 4. Stay with us.
Speed Machine. Let's listen to some RX tunes.
Hello from Silverstone Circuit in the UK, where we are preparing for the final races of round 4 of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Jerome Grosjean was bouncing in the background there with his blue hat on. We've been bouncing all weekend to the likes of Dizzy Rascal and co. We've had a festival here at Speed Machine. The spotters are ready, the cars are rolling into the grid, and I am looking forward to this. We hope you are at home as well. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me on commentary duties is Guy Wilkes. Neil Cole will be reporting from the paddock and the spotters tower as always. Semi-finals now, but this is how we've got to where we are. So there are your top 16, and we had a big entry here. 25 cars, 23 took part after a couple of problems for some of our entrants. Those top 16 get points. The top 12 go through to the semi-finals. Johan Kristoffersson with the top qualifier spot. Kristoffersson finally winning a couple of sessions in qualifying today, and in fact VW have turned their form around. The odds will go to semi-final number 1, and the evens will go to semi-final number 2. So look, Kristoffersson and Solberg together in the VWs on the front row, but Loeb versus Eckstrom in semi-final 2. You've got this Peugeot of Timmy Hansen and Gronholm in the Hyundai, Grosjean and Timosyanov in the first one, the likes of Bakkerud, Kevin Hansen, Kevin Eriksson, and Tommy Rustad. Great to see him through to the semi-finals on a random one-off outing in World Rallycross Championship. Neil Cole is down in the pre-grid, and I think he's managed to have a catch-up with Sebastian Loeb earlier on today.
So, Sebastian, that's the view off the start line down this start-finish straight. You've got yourself in a good position, pole for semi-final 2. What's the strategy?
To start to be still in pole after corner 2. So it's always here. It's I think a track where everything is possible in the first corner. The pole is not always an advantage. So I will need to protect well my position and trying to exit first. That's the goal, and then to push hard and to keep the position. But I think I'm not the only one who wants to win this semi-final.
I think so too, but it looks like you and the Peugeot have really got to grips with this circuit. It's very quick here.
Yeah, we were very quick. I had some good battles also because Matias was also very quick. Kristoffersson also, my teammate for sure. So it's we are very quick, but we are not alone, and the fight is really hard.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was with Sebastian Loeb just earlier, because you may have been able to hear the cars launching into the grid in the background. Really looking forward to this. Sebastian was looking very relaxed, wasn't he? We'll have to wait till semi-final 2 for him. Got another race coming up before then. Semi-final number 1 is on the line and ready to go. The marshal is giving them the thumbs up, but they're going to have to wait for us. Let's have a look at the lineup for this one. Johan Kristoffersson, the world champion, takes the top qualifier spot here. Petter Solberg was 3rd, so he joins him on the front row. Those guys are on used tyres. Andreas Bakkerud and Kevin Hansen are row 2. And on row 3, bringing up the rear, Kevin Eriksson and Tommy Rustad. Now, the drivers have all been shown the slippery surface flag just a few moments ago. That's not because it's raining, it's because we saw them watering the track. Now, what they were doing yesterday is watering it offline, but it'll be interesting to see how it affects those drivers who are trying to make a move on this first lap. Here we go then, top 3 are going to go through. We are ready to race. Good start by all 6 cars. Kevin Hansen moves across, trying to shut the door, and Eriksson. Solberg going to come across on Kristoffersson. Oh, contact! No! Kristoffersson's in the tyre wall. He destroyed it. Rustad's in it too. Going to try and drive through it. Surely they're going to red flag that. They're going to have to red flag that and restart it. It's all over the track. I think they'll have a restart, but let's see. Kristoffersson away on the inside over the grass. So Kristoffersson had contact with Solberg. And the tyres are all over the place. Red flag. Red flag.
There's no way they could continue. Those tyres got dragged right across the track.
Yeah, when Johan went in.
We've never seen those two touch, have we?
No.
Not like that. And Johan just got sent from way back.
Last time out in Belgium, Solberg moved across on Johan, but I need to see a replay to see exactly what happened. And that's, you know, they've just spoken to them. They've just spoken to them about strategy and not running into each other, and they do that, Guy.
Yeah, let's
Right.
go back and have a look at this.
Right, Guy Wilkes, talk us through this when we have another little look.
Well, Andreas Bakkerud actually does get a good start from the second row if you watch him there, but let's see where Solberg goes. He comes across to protect that. Johan moves across and Petty keeps coming, and Johan's not got much room in fairness there. He's got nowhere to go. Oh, Tommy Rustad just thought he was going to clean
good effort from Tommy, to be fair. Like, he's had a good crack at it. Unfortunately, it's going to take a little while to put that back together because those tyres are an absolute mess.
His cooling's in the back, but his clutch will have taken a pasting doing that.
Tommy won't be happy. Tommy will not be happy. Christopherson is back to the grid already. Let's take a look. We're looking at the commentary
Not
position.
too much damage, Andrew. I can see from here. He clipped the front left.
On board. This is with Kevin Eriksson.
So look to the right here. Johan Christopherson of Andreas Bakkerud, and now, boom.
Touch of the wheel.
Oh,
Touch
and
of
the
wheels
rear wheel.
And that's it then. He's
He was
just
a
a
passenger. Yeah.
And look at Kevin Eriksson. Clocked it straight away. Thanks very much. I'll dive out to the outside.
Ooh, and Petter's even taken an impact on the tyre wall. Not so clever.
No.
But we don't usually say that about these guys, do we? It's easy to say watching on, but...
like when you've got the front row guy, you know, this is it. Okay, here we go again. I don't know why I think there should Christopherson have backed out of it because
he's not going to give in easily, is he?
No, he's not. But likewise, Solberg's moving across. I mean,
yeah, but
do you want the contact?
If Johan backs out, he's giving away 2, possibly 3 positions, and they're going to come through like a train.
I'd like to talk to them. I'd really like to talk to them.
We're not going to get that chance, are we, at the moment? But we're going to get take 2 very soon.
They're going to have to rebuild the track, so maybe we will get the chance to have a chat with them. We'll see. They're pushing the tyre barriers back into turn 1. They're all sort of in pre-grid condition, so we may not be allowed to send Neil round there. Rustad's pulling up to the back of the grid. I'm talking to you from the commentary position. You're looking at turn 1 being rebuilt. Okay, we're hearing from race control. The teams will be given 3 minutes to work on the cars, and that's on the basis, obviously, of the damage which was done down in turn 1. Petter Solberg putting up to the line. Guy?
Yeah, he looks a little bit flustered, doesn't he? He's not quite sure what's happened and what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but
the team
he knows
will
what the result of it was, doesn't he? And
Absolutely.
he knows that that's not going to go down. Well, it's not.
Was that thunder?
Well, if it was, then we're in for a very, very exciting ride, aren't we? Solberg calls across one of the team members. Let's see if we can hear what he says.
It's a scrutineer, that, I think. It's FIA scrutineer.
Solberg doesn't seem very happy.
He'll be getting information about what's going to happen for the restart. They'll be telling whether they can or can't. We've heard through our headsets that they're going to get 3 minutes to work on the car. Yeah,
okay, so what we're hearing then actually is when all the cars are back, they will all be given 2 minutes to work on the car. So that's to keep it fair between them.
Look underneath that bonnet, he's taking a bit of damage, and the cooling pack is in the front of that VW,
yes,
remember.
It is.
Christopherson and Petter Solberg.
Great shout, Guy
They carry
Wilkes.
the radiator right at the front.
I've got to be honest.
He's got
it's
2/3 of a
6
car.
of 1, half a dozen. It's a long. But of course, Johan wants to go in, but dive in behind your teammate. Or, you know, is Solberg being ignorant to where Christopherson is on the track? Which I think really, I don't think Solberg shut the door on Johan in Belgium. I think that he wasn't aware that Christopherson was up his inside in Belgium. But here, you know, again,
I'm just laughing at Tommy Rustad giving it his all to get through the middle of that tyre stack.
Puncture.
Well, they may be
That's on
allowed
the rear of
to enter,
Solberg's car.
And it looks like his tracking's maybe out as well, because they hit quite hard, and obviously Johan Christopherson's car gripped on Petter's rear tyre and it flung the rear in the air, we saw from behind.
Damage to the rear quarter, look.
It's not so much, it's not the panels that they'll be worried about, it's the tracking for speed.
Okay, here we go. Flat out on the cars now.
This is going to be great.
The teams are in, so you are getting a bird's eye view right up close of how hard these World Championship teams will work. 2 minutes on the clock is what we're being told for them to re-prepare the cars. This is playing nicely into the hands in the background from the commentators. They're pushing Trolley through. People are being pushed out of the way to get down to Solberg's car. They're desperate to get a wheel to him. They are desperate to get a wheel on the back of that car as quick as they can. Nut guns are in. Look at this guy. They're ripping bits off the car.
Yeah, but they're trying to pull everything out so it doesn't foul on the tyre, but it'll be metalwork underneath. Let's have a look when they rip this panel off. They'll want the bump or anything as long as they don't make it underweight. They've got to be careful about
That
not
happened to
making
Ken
this
Block
car
last year, remember, when all the
underweight.
bits fell off the car.
Scanning the barcode of the new tyre, which they have to do. Obviously, the FIA
also a
scrutineers
good
will be doing
spot
that.
like Guy. Yes, a Cooper tyres. Remember, they're only allowed 8. Look at Solberg. You see him in the cars. They're
He looks
jacking it up,
nonplussed,
lifting it
doesn't
up.
he? I'm sure there's
He's
a
trying to
penny
stay
for his
calm.
thoughts.
Yeah, I'll pay a tenner for his thoughts right now. I think he's. I don't think he's going to be
Rip the
very
wheel
happy
arch
at
off.
all.
You can hear these guys. There's a lot of ex-rally mechanics involved here. They just want metalwork. If there's body that's going to foul the tyre, they don't want it to rub through. It's 6 laps, remember, not 4 laps.
In theory, these guys should be wearing armbands to work on the car, the orange armbands you see on the leg of the driver. So you're limited to the number of armbands that are allowed to work on the car.
4 people allowed to touch the car at once, that's all.
And that includes engineers. So when they plug a laptop in, literally, a guy who does wheels takes it off, gives it to your laptop man, he puts the laptop man in, he then gives the armband back again. It's pretty strict.
It can't be many seconds left out of this 2 minutes.
Solberg, look, he's shaking his head.
He's panicking.
So do you think Solberg thinks it's Johan? Well, he doesn't know, does he? He hasn't seen
We've just heard there's 50 seconds left. We heard that 5 seconds ago, so we're counting down from 40 pretty much now.
Tape going on the cars, they're saying down. More tape, longer.
Not bothered about the brake lights either, because remember the brake lights in the Rallycross car shine through the rear window because of exactly this.
30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go to get the double world champions car back into a state in which he can take the restart.
We have not had frantic action in the World Rallycross Championship like this for years.
Last time it was like this was for when Solberg missed the final in Finland and smashed his umbrella up because he was very, very angry. He didn't get an extra 30 seconds.
2014?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. So like my 14 or 15, it's a long time ago. Was a puncture, he says. I was in front by a whole car. And apologies for the language. Apologies for the language, but bear in mind you are in a World Championship car while it's being repaired. Fantastic. Henk is down on the grid. He is our man to release them into the grid. And when he says time is up, time will be up. He's looking up to race control. And they're going to get the cars back in there. The moment he says go, they have to go. We've got all the cars back.
And remember, this is semi-final, not the final. Luckily, if you want to look at it like that, they've got the most time to repair the car.
They have, because it's
before final. But they'll be definitely wanting to check that track in and hope that the impact hasn't damaged something that's going to break over the jump. We have a very big jump here that stresses the car a lot on landing.
Well, I think they've let them have longer than they said they were going to, but either way, Solberg looks really, I think he looks quite anxious. Cross, and he needs to stay calm. Look, take a deep breath, reset. Just wait, there's so much radio contact. I've got a lot of traffic coming in through my headset up here in commentary, so yeah, they're giving them as much time as they can, but they're giving them the hurry up.
10 seconds.
Now you can see Andy down on the grid, the marshal at the front. He's very familiar.
They're quite comfortable that they've got
Henk
that car
is waiting.
sorted.
Here he is. Look, he's tapping the headphones. He's saying, "I want the message." Go. There we go. Here we go.
Cars on grid. Okay.
Cars on grid. Here we go. Cars on grid. That's it. Time is up. Roll the trolleys away. Put the tools back. Back into battle again.
I love this.
So do I. It's great, isn't it? This is when it's so fantastic to be in the middle of it.
It's a whole team involved down on the grid.
It's going to be tight for time for us to get you right through to the final. And if a thunderstorm comes, things are going to be really interesting.
Christoph's front bonnet.
I think Petter and Johan are going to have a chat in private about what's happened there, and I will wait for their reactions.
Yes.
But I think, you know, Petter says it's a whole car. It wasn't a whole car because Johan was still inside.
He wouldn't have had contact.
Johan could have ducked in. He chose not to. You know, they both want to race for the win, guys. Yeah, one's got the number 1 on the car because he's the world champion. One's got 2 ones on the car because he's a double world champion. He likes to run the number 11, and that's just in Rallycross. Solberg, of course, got a rally championship too. Hence the 3 stars on his glove. He pulls the car on the handbrake, sells it down and away. Look at that.
He looks calm now, doesn't he?
He does.
He's collected his thoughts together and settled himself.
Big brake check on the way up to his grid slot. Bakkerud doesn't do a tyre warm.
Interesting. Do you know, probably because of tyre temp.
Already warm, yeah. Solberg, I suppose, 1 new tyre on the rear, but...
And that's all for setting the RPM, you know. We have a launch control where you press the button to actuate a set RPM value. Still working on the track. I don't know why these cars are necessarily going straight to the grid so soon. But, let's see.
Turn 1 is a mess. There are still large vehicles down there. Resetting the tyres. Rustad, big launch. Bang, bang, bang from the anti-lag. The tension's building for these guys. They're full of adrenaline, guys, and they're about to get held on the grid for a good 2 or 3 minutes. If we have a look down at turn 1 in a minute, you'll see there is a lot of work going down up there to try and get those tyre barriers back into position. The Monster Energy girls are leaving the grid. They're getting ready to launch these guys, but it's not ready.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But remember, we're under time constraints of live TV. We're live around the world watching this actually as it happens. So these guys have got to be under pressure now, not the guys who have fixed the car, but the guys who are mending the track. And they have to put that track back in place as it was.
Up in the spotters tower, Oliver Solberg on the right, Pernilla Solberg, Kenneth Hansen, Graham Roadmark, Susan Hansen. So the Hansen team, this has kind of played into Kevin's hands a bit. He certainly wasn't involved in any of it, was it, Kevin Hansen? Kevin Eriksson managed to avoid it. Rustad dove through the tyres. There's Tommy Kristoffersson, Johan's dad. Rustad dove straight through the tyre barrier. And
they've seen stuff like this before, the Kristoffersons, you know, because Johan went to Rallycross events with his father for many years. He'll have seen this, and Tommy obviously will have.
They'll be on the radio too, won't they, saying, look, chill, because
exactly that. That's what I was
ready.
going to come to. You know, they'll be very level-headed. All of these people on the grid are so experienced.
Neil Cole is, I think, in the spotters tower because he's got Pernilla Solberg with him. So we're going to go and have a chat with Neil and Pernilla.
Well, Pernilla, looking out there at Petta's car, does it look like they've managed to solve any of the problems?
I really hope so, but this is the kind of drama you do, nightmare scenario. You just don't want it. First of all, the two cars in the same semi and each other, you know, it's horrible, but we just have to do the best and fingers crossed that the car is okay.
And from your perspective and from what Petta's saying, do you know what actually happened?
No, but Petta was almost ahead, you know, and he went in to close the gap and obviously didn't know where Johan was on his car, so that just started the whole bundle. So really horrible thing that happens, but difficult to analyse more.
And what can you do to keep him calm now?
Well, yes, there's a try. Oliver does a good job on that, so that's more his role.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Solberg looking super focused, but almost is the key word there.
And Pernilla saying that Oliver actually is better to calm Petta down.
Yeah.
Oliver is how old? 16?
Yeah, but you know what it's like.
Oh, he's been
there
around
are certain
it as
people
well.
you listen to and certain people you won't, you know, and if you... Okay, great job by the marshals here at Silverstone. Great job. They need to start clearing those vehicles and get ourselves ready to go. We don't need to get the stickers back on the tyre wall. I think we just need to get the cars launched down into turn one. It's a nice job, but that'll do.
Are you in radio contact with those guys?
I'd like
I thought you were trying to tell them a message then.
Okay, well, we're getting ready to go. Neil's still up in the spotters tower, grabbing interviews for us.
Well, I think rule one of most motor racing is you don't take out your teammate. From your perspective as a neutral, what happened there?
I think it was just a bit of bad luck. I mean, Petter took the start, he moved over to cross, and then Johan was on the inside. Then it's, of course, it's a shame what happened, and I mean, we took the lead, we had the advantage, it felt perfect, really great, but then now we have to refocus for the restart and do the same again.
Do the same again. Of course, Andreas has an advantage now because there may be damage to Petta's car. Also, those two will be fired up.
Absolutely, they will. I mean, we just refocus. We do what we did the first time. Try to be P1 and go for the final and grab some more points and some champagne. Would be nice.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
So one more look at that start then. So Solberg, as Pernilla said, he was, to be fair, he was a long way in front here, guys.
Yeah, but just not quite enough.
So,
He's hoping that Johan heeds a little bit, but Johan's not heeding because he's not probably expecting Petter to come down and narrow it down. It was a big impact, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, to be fair. He's got
Luckily, he hit the tyres broadside, like that side on, because if he'd have hit it head on, that was definitely into radiator cooling pack. Car seems okay, it's ticking over there on the grid, we can see there's no steam.
Kevin Hansen was really held up on the inside, but did well to avoid it all, so... Bit of debris on the track, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. The fans are having to wait a long time for this, aren't we? So we're going to get things away very shortly. There you go. The marshals are leaving the track. As soon as those vehicles are clear and the marshals are out the way, we will get the cars sent down to turn one.
Round of applause from the fans there for the marshals. Absolutely cracking job they've done.
Good effort. It was FIA Volunteers Weekend recently. All these marshals, of course, volunteering in our motorsport cannot happen without them, so we're grateful for their assistance.
Take two.
I think it's, yeah, take two. I was just about to say the same thing, Guy. Here we go. Thumbs up. Restart, red flag, everyone back to where they were. We don't know who's carrying damage. We know who's had cars repaired on the grid. Solberg, I think, had the most work done to get that punctured tyre off and to remove the bodywork. Here we go. Semi-final number one, round 4 of the FA World Rallycross Championship. Watch for the green and hope there isn't carnage down into turn one. I bet they give each other more room this time. Green light, great start. Kristoffersson on the inside. Hansen moves across backwards. Something behind Johan. Solberg's got it, but not by enough. This time, Kristoffersson pushes him out. Bakkerud's going to get him too. Into the back. Johan pushes Solberg really wide. Bakkerud up the inside. Rustad's gone backwards. Hansen up the inside. Hansen has passed Solberg. Solberg And it is
Petter's gone
Kristoffersson.
backwards. That's exactly what he was trying to avoid the first time by getting across in front of Johan, and this time he just couldn't do it. He did take the start, but nowhere near enough.
Exactly.
No, he was quicker is what I meant. He was quarter of a car length ahead. He wasn't almost a full car this time.
No, and that's the difference, isn't it? Oh, Solberg, do you see, changed his mind. Solberg in P3 changed his mind when he saw Kevin go in front of him. So Kevin Hansen is the first to Joker. He goes in. Dust is flying up now. The weather's holding at the minute. On board with Solberg.
In and out of the turn. I wonder if it's tracking on the back. Look at his steering wheel.
Okay, we'll see
when he goes to jump. When he goes to jump, watch the steering wheel's pointing to the right, I'm sure. Watch the yellow marker on the top there. Look, just didn't quite hold on to that long enough. I'm sure he's tracking slightly out.
Massive jump. Anyway, Solberg currently up to P3. Remember, the top three go through, the bottom three will go no further. You're riding on board with Solberg now. We ideally want to see the steering angle, I guess, in a straight line guy up
Yeah, it's difficult around this section because you're right, left. I might be a little bit wrong when I just saw him.
We've got to have a look at it and guess. Here we go. Hansen, what's the gap back to Kevin Hansen? He's 5.8 off the leader. We think it's about... Oh, he's on! He's gone! He's gone! Solberg pulled off to the side of the road. Petter Solberg has retired from semi-final number 1 after contact with his teammate on the first running. He pulls off to the side of the road. On board with Solberg now. Oh, he's not happy, you know that. You know he's not going to be happy, but is that a result of damage? It has to be, damage from that first
There's a lot of
contact
vibration through his steering wheel, even though the surface does have a lot of ridges in it. Just too much for my liking to think that everything was okay, but he took a couple of big impacts.
Right, 1 down, 1 remaining from the VW
Bakkerud into the choker.
In he goes.
This is the race here.
Is he tidy? He is. It's nice and tidy. He's early on the gas, finds the traction straight into the car. He's going to chase him down. Is he covering off Kevin Hansen behind him? Kevin Hansen, what were the lap times like for Kevin after he joking early? Rustad has dropped down into 4th place, and Kristoffersson is leading and looking super smooth after
and going quicker and quicker.
Is he really?
Yeah, he 40.1, 39.7, 39.3. He is getting into a rhythm now. Clear track ahead. Disconsolate Petter Solberg there. He'll be very angry, I'm sure. Maybe not at anyone, but he'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, they're going to need a serious debrief tonight. So Kristoffersson comes through the right and the left. He'll rejoin on the start-finish straight now. We're going to head on to lap 5. Look at the top of your screen. Only Johan hasn't joking. He's got damage on the front of the car, but guy, they're going to have about 20-25 minutes. Look at that. He's absolutely fully lit through turn 1. In beautifully on the nose, on the gas, drifts it wide out towards the edge of the road. Fantastic job by him.
Yes, it is indeed. Andreas Bakkerud just clocked the time slightly quicker than Johan. Johan's last lap was a 39.4. Andreas Bakkerud was a 39.266.
Okay,
not much, but he's edging.
It's 2 tenths, and okay, the screen is showing a gap of 5.3 at the previous split. At the minute, it would go the way of Kristoffersson. So Kristoffersson come out in front, but it's half a second. He is. Kristoffersson goes in into the joker lap, on the gas again, pull it back out, and he's got Bakkerud covered. So
yeah, Andreas was slightly too sideways in his joker, and I think that's where he dropped time. I'll tell you in a second. Yeah.
Rustad down in 4th, followed by Eriksson. These two guys looking like they're not going to go any further because everybody's joking now. But I think the big shock here, guys, Solberg has gone out. Kristoffersson, how has he managed to deal with all that pressure and all the carnage in turn? He's actually got a get-out-jail-free card here as well. The red flag means that he got the restart. He's going to take a win in the semi-final when it looked like he wasn't going to be anywhere.
Yeah, he was out of it, wasn't he? He was stuffed in the tyres. But at the end of the day, it was a restart and he's back out front. He's just so good at just erasing things from his mind that don't really matter.
Super calm. Kristoffersson, the world champion, with the number 1 on the car. 5 minutes ago, he was buried in a time wall at turn 1. Now he takes semi-final number 1, books his slot on pole position in the final. Bakkerud goes through to row 2 and Kevin Hansen to row 3. So we've got 3 factory-back cars, 1 from each of the manufacturers going through from semi-final number 1. And I'm really hoping semi-final number 2 might be a bit calmer than that. Solberg gutted. They're going to need to have a long chat in the Volkswagen camp tonight. Semi-final 1, won by Johan Kristoffersson after the restart. Andreas Bakkerud P2, Kevin Hansen P3, Rustad, Eriksson, and crucially, Petter Solberg, the man who is involved in that first corner incident.
Johan Kristoffersson's going very, very slowly back. And I don't think he would really want to because he would want to get the car back and fixed, get it to the mechanics.
Guy's right. Johan Kristoffersson is going very slowly on the far side of the circuit. We can see from the commentary box. We're going to have a look back at the start, though.
Yeah, here, watch. Petter doesn't quite get as good a one as last time, or Johan gets a better one. Watch Andreas Bakkerud, opportunist, straight to the inside. Kevin Hansen also. Little nibble at the back of Petter, and he's not going to give that away easily.
Did we get any contact with Petter in the background? I wonder if there was something. I mean, not really, did we? No, he was pretty tidy, to be fair. Okay, Solberg through the corner.
Oh, I
in
wonder
the
if he
distance
clipped it.
from, it is Kristoffersen's car.
Yeah.
Okay, we're watching the replays, but out of the window, Johan Kristoffersen's car looks like it's going to be loaded onto a flatbed trailer while you watch the replays of his teammate Petter Solberg pulling over at the side of the road. The world champion has come to a standstill on the run back to the paddock. He's a good half-mile away from it, and I don't know what happens if his car gets recovered. He's finished the race. Anyway, absolutely massive drama in semi-final number 1. Kristoffersen has taken it with a decent drive. Andreas Bakkerud and Kevin Hansen going through, but that's a complicated one for sure. There it is. Hooking Kristoffersen's car onto a rope and dragging it onto a truck to get it back to the paddock. Will we see the top qualifier take his place on pole in the final? Guy, a disaster for VW really in this one. You know, not only have they got the politics.
Well, there's Petter out the window. You know, he's ever the entertainer. He knows what this sport and all sport is about. You have to put on a show, but he always wants to win.
Massive fan base in the UK.
He's not in the car hanging his head in shame. He knows there's an incident happened there that shouldn't have done.
Okay, we're going to have a look at Petter Solberg's onboard from the start. So we're going to be able to see. Have a look. Let's have a look and see. Solberg, okay, here we go, down towards turn 1, look on the inside.
Try and watch his wing mirror.
So this is the second start,
yes.
yeah, so, nudge, no.
Right on the wheel, wheel to wheel.
I don't think Kristoffersen's done that to be mean, he's done it to make sure that he doesn't have someone alongside him on the run down to turn 2.
You can see how physical Rallycross is from these shots, can't you?
It's frantic, it's absolutely frantic.
It was a little bit after this we were on board with him, and I just thought that it was, his steering wheel was out to the right, but I don't think it maybe was.
Well, it doesn't matter.
There's a lot of vibration coming through his steering wheel, though.
His inputs into the wheel are huge, so do we hear? Let's watch. There. It's like a... Is it a transmission noise in the background? No, okay, so he's continuing on this lap. It's hard to tell.
It's very, very low in my ears, Andrew. I can't pick that up.
No. Well, Solberg having a problem either way.
Yeah, he was just desperate to try and recover, obviously, the incident from the start.
Okay, well, we definitely can't hear him now because the cars are doing their launches outside. Okay, we're hearing that Johan Kristoffersen will be okay to start the race because he fits the final, because he finished his race. The problem they've got is the car is still stuck on the far side of the circuit, which is about half a mile away from the pre-grid area.
VW mechanics will be hopping, wanting that car back ASAP.
Kristoffersen's out of the car.
Yeah.
Bonnet off, what's he doing? He's pulling off past the front.
Throttle? I'm guessing throttle linkage or something like that, because the car finished the race, then something failed, didn't it?
Kristoffersen leads the World Championship by 9 points as we come into the UK. We've then had qualifier course, and he took 16 compared to Loeb's 15 there, so he would have been leading by 10 as we came into the semi-finals. In theory, he's taken 6 points here. We're waiting for Loeb to get through into his semi.
They just need to hook that car up and get it back.
Exactly. He might be about to lose the lead in the World Championship. Very, very difficult start to the semi-finals section of this event for Volkswagen Motorsport, PSRX Volkswagen Sweden. Are we going to see Kristoffersen or not? Semi-final number 2 is on the line and ready to go. Looking forward to this. I think everybody's hoping, to be fair, this one gets away cleanly. Want to see a decent race for the top 3 places. Here we go. Okay, let's see the lineup for semi-final number 2. On pole position, Sebastian Loeb. He's currently second in the World Rallycross Championship, but Kristoffersen is in danger here of not making it through to the final with those problems after the end of his race. Matias Eckstrom on the front row. Timmy Hansen and Niklas Gronholm. And bringing up the rear, Jerome Grosset-Janin and Timur Timosyanov. So we've got both the Hyundais on the right-hand side of your picture. They've got the opportunity to have a little bit of space. I have to say, In some ways, I think it's preferable to be out there. If you can't be on the front row, I think you'd rather have a little bit of space. Timmy Hansen's in the most difficult position to get out of. Here we go. Loeb versus Eckstrom versus Hansen at the front. Oh, Timmy Hansen have to dip the clutch. Hansen dips the clutch, cross section in, looks to the inside. Gronhoff puts a massive squeeze on Timmy. Careful, 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 not in the wall again. Loeb's going to lead Hansen with a little bit of handbrake. Slots it in behind. Ekstrom's going to get P2 on the run down to turn 2. Trotting around the outside, Loeb. If he's not careful here, Hansen will get his nose up the inside as well. And they slot in much more sensibly.
Yeah, there was still a bit of bumping and barging going on. They were fighting for space every inch of the way. And obviously Sebastian Loeb has had this exactly as he planned. Out in front, get a clean race and hope to get a win. And obviously on the front row, the good in the final.
I wonder whether or not Loeb will know, would the team bother? I guess they wouldn't bother to give him the drama of Kristoffersson. They don't know whether he's going to be in the final or not, so it's irrelevant until they get there. Into the joke lap on lap 1, Timothy Yarnov's way too sideways. Yep. Big send, pulls it back on the dirt. And he'll be away again, but I think unfortunately that mistake on the first lap, we're probably going to see him not make it through straight away.
Best chance for a privateer to get through the final here is Niklas Gronholm. He's had a cracking weekend, he's just not quite had the rub of the green, but he's right there, he's just off the back of Hansen.
Fastest lap of the day, Sebastian Loeb, 38.9. Eckstrom those going with him, he wasn't far off to be fair. Going really, really quickly. Timmy Hansen stuck in P3, so Hansen's right up behind Eckstrom. He could choke here and release himself. Looked like he was lining the car up, but he doesn't. Yeah, none of these guys. Cross section in into the joker now.
Just got to nail it.
He's gone deep again. He's gone deep again, so we know certain parts of the track's been watered, but that's going to be a drag race between these two. Timothy Yarnov really sideways, fighting the traction in the Hyundai. Edges it on cross section in. But it's not going to be about these two, it's going to be about the guys up front as to who makes it through. 3 places still up for grabs in the final here at Silverstone. Fastest lap of the day, Sebastian Loeb is going quicker again.
Yeah, but I'm just watching the splits getting knocked in here. It's so tight. On board. Let's see the focus. Oh,
look at Hansen. Hansen over Eckstrom. Timmy goes Joker. Surely is he going to go? He does. Timmy Hansen to the Joker. Can he get a tidy one in? Yes, he can. Keeps it super tidy. Gronholm behind him drops it. Look at that. Hansen beautifully tidy on the race.
The line has got actually narrower.
Definitely.
He's gone on and they're coming in on the old line.
Hansen coming through then. So Hansen now 6 seconds off the lead. We know the Joker is about 4.9. He was right on the back of Eckstrom. Loeb banging in the fastest laps of the day. In theory, Hansen's got that pace as well. Again, 3 fastest laps of the day in a row for Sebastian Loeb.
He's
found a mega rhythm.
He's gapping Eckstrom as well.
And Eckstrom's almost with him.
He's trying to hold
Hansen was all over him. Hansen was all over him. On board now with Loeb.
Yeah, we're looking back at his face. Let's look at the focus on this.
Eckstrom, this is Eckstrom in the Joker. He's got to cover Hansen behind. Hansen's Joker was good, so's Eckstrom. Watch for the merge here. Hansen's a little bit wide in the background, and Eckstrom holds on. Great decision by their Joker to go in there.
Absolutely, because although Eckstrom wasn't on the bumper of Sebastian Loeb, he was just losing a tenth. So now, obviously, Sebastian. Well, let's watch this gap.
5.4, Joker lap predictor at the bottom. We're saying 4.8 in the dry. Look at Loeb landing from the jump. Gets the car turned in, patient on the throttle and away. But this should see him get the job done. If it's 4.8, he should come about half a second in front. When's he going to Joker? Now
this Peugeot is so good around this section. Look how neutral
Joker. In goes Loeb, keeps it tidy, doesn't make the mistakes that 3 of the other cars have done in this. Really low in the RPM, round to the right, lights it up, and he comes out in front of Eckstrom. So tidily done. Those 3 Jokers there, Guy, were definitely responses to the previous cars.
Yes, absolutely, and that's exactly what they had to do.
Hansen's had a spin. Timmy Hansen has spun outside the commentary position. Timmy Hansen was in 3rd place and he spun outside the commentary position. He's gone. So we're now seeing a race. It's going to be Gronholm, I think, is going to go through because he's ahead of his teammates. Cross section in and Timothy Yarnov. But how far back is Gronholm? Gronholm's in a clear P3 as they go down towards the jump.
Timmy's all over the back of Grosjean in, but that doesn't really matter.
This is what matters. Yeah, Sebastian Loeb is going to take semi-final number 2 with Matias Eckstrom right with him. Timmy Hansen has retired. You see his car in the background there. Timmy Hansen has had a spin. Over the line goes Sebastian Loeb to take a place on the front row. Matthias Eckstrom and Niklas Gronholm goes through to the final for the 2nd time this year with a Hyundai. Great job for him. After that,
Timmy Hansen's just driven off in the background, so I'd like to see exactly what happened with him.
Me too. Crowd enjoyed that. Weird semi-finals, Guy. That's 2 of the strange. We've had some great racing so far this year. The racing there was close, but it's been really about the mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Timmy Hansen, that was a peculiar one. We have actually seen a car spinning there in a different class, but back to the results.
Sebastian Loeb wins semi-final number 2 from Matias Eckstrom, and Niklas Gronholm benefiting from Timmy Hansen, who actually DNF'd that with a couple of laps to go. Jerome Grosjean and Timothy Mazyanov are also eliminated. Well, we got the RX2 final coming up next. I wonder if there we go, that's Timmy. So the front left is front left tyre is off the rim. Well, Neil Cole's managed to get hold of Sebastian Loeb, so Neil Cole is with the winner of semi-final number 2. Let's go and hear from him.
Sebastian, 2 dramatic semi-finals, but you're through to the final. That was a great semi-final win.
Yeah, it was a good race. I didn't understand your question, but I had a good start and was able to keep a very strong rhythm all along, and finally to be now in the first row for the final is very good. At the moment, it's a perfect weekend.
Good luck, thank you.
We'll have a look at the replays then from semi-final number 2.
Yeah, a bit of bumping and bashing between Timmy and Niklas, but watch here. Matias Eckstrom tries to go around the outside and knows that Sebastian Loeb won't have that, but they absolutely smashed this race compared to the previous race with Johan Kristoffersson. Johan Kristoffersson did a total time of 4:07. Matias Eckstrom and Sebastian Loeb did 4:02.
So was that because Kristoffersson was carrying damage? I mean, how far back was Bakkerud? Bakkerud was on a 4:08. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, Niklas Gronholm finished third in there with a 4:09. That, you know, Sebastian Loeb and Matias Eckstrom were in a race of their own. Obviously, cars without damage. Here we can see the wind's actually changed direction. Now, I wonder if it's just blown the dust
back onto the line.
Exactly.
Interesting, wasn't it? You see him follow the car in front in. The car in front does it perfectly, and unfortunately just gets it slightly wrong. But got a get out of jail free card here. Was this Hansen's problem? We didn't see. Keep your eyes on Timmy Hansen in the background. No, he's gone already at this point, so we're looking later on in the race. Timmy was,
it might be here. I think the camera just out was shot. That's
we can't
flag.
see it.
Yeah,
so
really.
did he clip a wall? Did he take the tyre off the rim? It's a good race in the background, but I would have liked to see Timmy Hansen, you know, has been one of the point men for the entire of this season, and just, it seems, can't get a break. So Timmy, who's currently 5th in the championship, retiring from another semi-final. Okay, crowd been treated to some unusual action, I think it's fair to say, in the semi-finals here at round 4. We've got more still to come. Guy Wilkes, thoughts so far? I'd say some poor decision-making, possibly.
Yeah, I'm left a little bit bewildered after those 2 semi-finals. Like you said, quite strange, weird, whatever descriptive word you'd like to use. But we need to get a little bit more information, don't we?
We might be able to get a bit more information from Timmy Hansen on what happened to him, because Neil Cole is with him now. Let's go and catch up with Timmy.
Timmy, real shame, what happened?
I don't know. I didn't touch anything, but in the lap after I jokered, car started to feel a little bit strange. I lost some ground to Matias, and then lap after it completely broke. I don't know. I don't know what we need to do to get the change of luck. I think it feels like we're doing everything. We're fast. We have the good starts. Everything is going well, but no luck.
What a shame, considering, you know, the problems between Petra and Johan. Was perfect chance to get great points.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a great weekend. We are so fast. Really, I don't know what we should do.
I wish you better luck.
Thank you.
So Timmy really wants a change of luck, and you can understand that as a driver. It's really disappointing, because when you know you've got the pace and you know the car's really, really good, it just feels like nothing's going your way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the team have raised their game dramatically. Obviously, it's Peugeot Sport that are coming here as a factory team. The car has improved. We've seen that on the track, both physically and on the timesheets. Yeah, he needs a bit of a break. Sebastian's got great pace at the moment, though.
This is on board with Matias Eckstrom in the last semi-final.
Yeah, so let's watch. He has to go around the outside here of Sebastian Loeb at the start. And let's see how he sticks on the throttle. Let's see how, before he gets patient and pulls back in. Now,
good effort though, wasn't it? Good effort. He had a go.
The gap was there for on boards. Yeah, and up over the jump. Watch this. Time. Boom. Heavy landing.
Look, you can see there, just from the fact that our camera distorts, gives you an idea, Guy. This is a massive jump here.
Yeah, and those cameras
huge.
are fixed pretty solid, let me tell you. So that just shows you the amount of impact that's going through that car. Dampers are designed to do this, but still, you know, it's a hell of a landing.
So I had a chat earlier with Tanner Faust, who's been taking part in America's Rallycross this week, and if you're not aware of that, you need to be. It's a brand new series for American Rallycross, and you need to have a little look for the racing that we've had on their Facebook page and the social media. Tanner was saying this track is full of what he describes as landmines, lots of little places where you can make a mistake. And you saw Loeb there, just half a metre wide than the apex, and yeah,
it's
kind
tight and
of
twisty,
about
it's
not
difficult.
hitting stuff.
It's
Yeah.
difficult to overtake, but it's technical. You can make a mistake so easily here. Slide half a car wide and it'll just hemorrhage time. Dusty offline. So, you know, you really do have to stick it together for every single lap that you do.
Well, we've got the youngsters up next. Let's see what their racing's like, shall we? The RX2 cars are on the grid. But Neil Cole is with Andreas Bakkerud, so we're going to go and have a chat with Andreas before we launch the single-weight cars down towards turn 1.
Andreas, it looks like it's hot work here at Silverstone.
It is, especially with these cars. I'm so happy we're not doing long races because it's so warm. I don't know the temperature today inside the car, but probably over 75 degrees, especially after the red start. We were sitting in the car, nobody knew what's going on, and we were sitting and waiting for the repairs. But anyway, we managed to keep it cool, and once again in the final, 4th time in a row with the Audi S1, so I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, let's hope you convert it into a win.
Thank you.
More than 27,000 fans have attended the first ever Speed Machine event here at Silverstone. They've got 2 races still to watch. On then to RX2. We had 6 drivers who've been waiting quite a long time to get their race underway thanks to the carnage in semi-final 1 of the World Championship. Let's take a look at the grid for these guys. On the front row, Oliver Eriksson and Sondre Evjen. Eriksson had a problem when he was looking really good in Belgium. Same for Vasily Gryazin. He was flying in Belgium. It didn't go his way. Conor Martel making it through to the final here in the UK. Anders Michalak at the back of the grid with Glenn Haug. This is round 2 for this series. Gundersen won the first round back in Belgium, but hasn't made it through from the semi-final stage. Oliver Eriksson is down in P7 at the moment, about 11 points off the championship leader after his retirement when he was leaving the semi-final, so he's desperate to get through. Gryazin, he was TQ in Belgium and it didn't go his way, so lots of talent in this one. Jump start. It is slot number, oh, I can't see from it. It looks like row 2 on the inside, so it is Gryazin. Vasily Gryazin, his luck hasn't changed either. So I say TQ, he won his semi-final in Belgium, and then I think he got punted off in turn 1, if I remember correctly, Vasily Gryazin.
They're standing in front of Evjen.
We're seeing the Joker 2 sign.
I think they just stand there maybe before.
To sort of say where it is, yeah. So
yeah, stand in the grid. I wouldn't want that as a driver.
No, Sondre Evjen, he's like, well, no, it wasn't me.
I didn't move.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
You got the wrong man.
I didn't do it. It's not a fair cop. Okay, so Gryazin will have to do 2 Joker laps. Thumbs up again. And you can see in the background, the supercars are being dragged into the pre-grid. Kristoffersen's car is actually being pushed into the pre-grid. And behind him, Sebastian Loeb. So they're going to desperately try to get Kristoffersen's car ready. They don't look too panicked, to be honest. That's from the commentary position we can see this. So it looks like Kristoffersen will make it through to the final. Anyway, on to RX2. Thumbs up from the marshals. Take 2 at this one, ready to race. Green light for Eriksson. Well, good start by him. Gryazin looking forward, but has found something. Evjen is going to come along and slot into 2nd place. Gryazin going to have to go 3rd. Oh, going for it all the way around the outside is Conor Martel. Conor Martel's going to try and get up to P2. Slots in, has a look up the inside. Great job by Conor Martel.
Conor Martel's driven fantastically well this weekend.
Really good.
Oliver Eriksson has as well, but we'd expect that. But Conor Martel's put a storming drive in this weekend.
Which is good because he was Q10 back in Belgium, so 10th place and went out in the semi-final. So Martel showing a bit more of the pace that we might have expected of him. Evjen is down to 3rd place. That's Gryazin has dropped into 4th. Who's going to joker on this first run? Gryazin slots off to the right.
You'd expect that. He's got to do 2, so he's got to take 1, get out of traffic really, and give himself a chance of putting in some fast laps.
So good decision. You think if you get a penalty, you might as well get going straight. What if you're up front then? I mean, maybe you change your mind, hold on for a bit longer. But
well, if you got the pole and the first corner, I think you go for as long as you possibly could, because you just have clean air. You wouldn't want to drop yourself back into traffic and hinder yourself.
Over the jump for Oliver Eriksson, who leads by 0.9 of a second. Martel 1 points up to 1.2.
Up a little bit there over the jump, but sorted out.
There's that really tricky break zone. See how bumpy it is as well, and that's really hard. Again, it unsettles the cars.
Yeah, I was talking to Johan Kristoffersen's father, who's actually saying that you can brake later and later in that corner. Almost you're fighting in your mind. The grip's coming better and better as it's getting cleaner.
And if you miss your braking point by half a metre, you're 10 metres deep.
Exactly, and on the grass.
Gryazin then has managed to edge up one position, but still has another joker lap to go. So Mitchell Ackler's jokered. You can see Gryazin's got to do the second one thanks to the jump start. What are the gaps then? 1.3 back to
Oliver
Martel.
Eriksson's pulling about half a second on that last lap.
So he's done a good job, and we're looking at joker time of more than 5 seconds, aren't we? 4.9 in a supercar. So it won't be that much more, because these guys will carry a bit of momentum through the corner. The front three breaking away. Glenn Haug is 4.4 seconds off the leader. And there's a good example of what Tanner was saying about earlier on in the weekend about how you can run wide. You know, you just miss the braking point. It's, you know, these little. The
line is so clean on the gravel sections that if you get, you know, a couple of tyre widths, not even quarter of a car, half car, a couple of tyre widths offline, you're on the loose stuff. You're just going to get dragged wide.
Oliver Eriksson chasing on short of supercar drive. He's been in RX2. He's done a few supercar races as well, and we know he'd like to be in the headline category, but I think this is a good place to come and learn the trade guy. You know, we've seen some brilliant performances from the likes of Cyril Raymond, who's been a double champion. Of course, we've got Kevin Eriksson, Kevin Hansen, and these guys on a big push.
Absolutely. I just want to say, Conor Martel's just nipped a couple of tenths back on that last lap. So, you know, he's fighting back. He's got the hammer down. He's really hungry for a win.
So is there an argument for Martel to go to the joker, or just so that he's on a different strategy? Because while Eriksson can see him, you can see that physical gap. When you can't see them, it's a little bit... I mean, they've still got the spotter to update you, but...
You just need to time that gap where you're dropping back into traffic. And if you do a good joker and get out, but get really out behind somebody, you just get balked. It's so difficult to overtake. You can overtake, we have seen that. But again, you don't want to have that hindrance.
Eriksson still by 1.3 from Martel. Anybody going to joker on lap 5 out of 6, so they're all going to hold on for the last one. Martel holds on. Evshan goes. Evshan into the joker lap, so Evshan is in. 3.5, it was 8.6 back to Gryazin. Still got another one to do, but that gives us an idea if it's a similar sort of gap. Okay, so it's 5 seconds-ish, isn't it?
And Gryazin's got to do another joker.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's tit for tat with Oliver Eriksson and Conor Martel. Take 2 tenths. Oliver Eriksson's just taken 2 back. You know, they're reacting. Oliver Eriksson's got a 1.6 second lead. He just needs to make it to the end, but the joker is so tricky. We've seen people drop the car in both the WRX cars, so it's easily done, but these cars are a little bit more nimble in that type of corner, actually.
So it's not over yet, but it's looking good for Oliver Eriksson. He's just got to safely negotiate the joker lap. In he goes. Keep it tidy, Oliver. He did well in Belgium, but not by his standards. It was Q4, and he went out in the semi-finals thanks to a problem. This weekend, he's put that right. Oliver Eriksson wins round 2 of the 2018 RX2 Series. P2 goes to Conor Martel, and Sondre Evshan crosses the line to pick up 3rd place.
Well driven, Oliver Eriksson and Conor Martel.
Yeah, good to see Martel on the pace. I say American driver. We hope we'll see a bit more of him possibly in ARX2 later this year. Fans enjoying that as well. Of course, they're waiting for just one more final. Result then for round 2 of the RX2 Series from Silverstone circuit in the UK. Oliver Eriksson taking 8 points, Conor Martel 5, Sondre Evshan 4, then Anders Midtschlag, Glenn Haug and Vasily Gryazin, your top 6. Well, we're getting the cars ready for the final for Supercar, the last race of the weekend. They're fanning the doors, look, on Kristoffersen's car, and that's just desperately to try and get some air in. It's absolutely boiling hot up in the commentary box, Guy. Those guys are down there in race suits. They're in balaclavas, they're in helmets, they're ready to go. We still got damage on the car.
Very rarely seen a VW with that much damage on. They always look immaculate at the start of the weekend and the end of the weekend.
Would you want to be in that debrief later on? I kind of want to be a fly on the wall, but would you want to be one of the drivers involved? Because I wouldn't. It's that horrible situation where
it's straight talking. Those guys, you know, they've gone on so well last year and this year, you know, hey, don't dwell on it.
So you just got to get on with it.
Sort it out, shake hands,
move it on.
Put it down as a racing incident, move on.
Okay.
But Petter Solberg will be hoping that Johan Kristoffersen wins this as well. Remember, VW and he are involved in this team.
Monster Energy Supercharge Award down there on the grid. It's based on a supercharger this year. Last year it was a Skull. Always an interesting trophy. It's based on the reaction time of the drivers in this race. So whoever has the fastest reaction time off the line will win the Monster Energy Supercharge Award. We are going to get the cars ready to load into the grid one more time here from Silverstone in the UK. The low rumble of Kristoffersen's anti-lag as he launches the car up to the grid position. Slot number 1, we didn't think he'd make it after the carnage of the first semi-final. Then it looked like he wasn't going to get back to the paddock. They've got the job done, and you have to fancy that one of the coolest drivers in the paddock, one of the calmest men in a race car, won't have too many problems in getting his focus back into place. Sebastian Loeb in the second place on the grid. It's going to be a fascinating race between them. The two Audis are going to be on row 2 together. So Eckstrom and Bakkerud, will they have similar problems with team tactics to Volkswagen? Will they do something more sensible than they did in Portugal?
They have had team tactics issues, haven't they, in Portugal? So, you know, that's not a safe bet either. They're going to be fighting. They obviously want top dog status within the team.
Kevin Hansen in the yellow Peugeot in the background rolls into the grid. Is that without a pre-start again? So Kevin Hansen's gone in without a pre-start, and so has Niklas Gronholm. Is he going? No, Niklas is going to do a launch. In the background of your shot now, you can see Niklas. One last launch coming up. This will be a loud one. Let's take a look at the grid for the final. Johan Kristoffersen on the pole position, running number 1 on the car. Great recovery from him. Can he do the ultimate and take the win here against Sebastian Loeb, the winner last time out? Matias Eckstrom and Andreas Bakkerud on row 2. The factory Audi driver teammates need to be sensible to turn 1. We've seen what can happen if you're not. Kevin Hansen and Niklas Gronholm on the back of the grid. Great job by Hyundai to get the car in, and the third Peugeot as well. Good for Kevin. Last race of the weekend, 6 laps to go. Tommy Kristoffersen looks from the spotter's tower. We're just feet to his left. Nervous times for him. Kristoffersen would love it if he can recover from that instant in the first semi-final. That'll go a long way to mending any of his thoughts about it. We'll try and find out, as I say, what the drivers think about it once everything is said and done. Thumbs up. Let's get this going.
Johan Kristoffersen will be hoping he gets a cleaner start than his semi-final number 2. He still hasn't had great starts, and Sebastian Loeb has been getting them.
Round 4 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship 2018 is about to be decided. Watch the ready-to-race lights out, looking for a green. Go, Eckstrom with a great start on the second row. Loeb's gone backwards. Gronholm moves across. Kevin Hansen up the inside. Whole shot for Kristoffersen. Eckstrom's in behind him. Bakkerud going to go around the outside of his teammate. Teammate's on the run down to turn 2. Eckstrom doesn't put his nose up the inside, so Bakkerud has got the better of Eckstrom. In the background, Gronholm gets past Sebastian Loeb. Dreadful start for Loeb.
Yeah, he had to take the clutch. He really just died on the start. He was lucky not to stall it, just lost absolutely everything, and Johan Kristoffersen's out in front.
Massive airtime there from Sebastian Loeb. Kristoffersen with Bakkerud and Eckstrom behind. Do you think Audi will split the strategy?
I think they probably will now. They need to do something different if they want to win this race. No, they don't. Niklas Gronholm's decided he doesn't want to be in a train and thinks he can go maybe a little bit faster.
Well, let's see what Gronholm can do. He was 4th in Spain. Could he bag a podium here? It'd be fantastic for the team if they do. They said they want to improve their results, but all eyes on this man, Johan Kristoffersen, running the number 1 on the car. Is he going to pull a miracle and get his 3rd victory of the year? So close to the barriers. Bakkerud and Eckstrom.
All these drivers, Matias Eckstrom.
Monster Energy Supercharge Award. You had a row with Tommy Hakkinen last year. Only a fun one about whether or not the old man had good enough reactions. I think looks like he does. He wins the Supercharge Award for the fastest reaction time. Do you think Loeb got a bad start for reactions or RPM? It looked like RPM.
RPM just looked like the car died.
Okay, so Kevin Hansen. Gronholm's the only car to have joker. What's the gap back? And we think it's about.
I'm just watching Bakkerud here. He's getting on the back of Kristoffersen. I think he's reeling him in just ever so slightly. He is indeed. He's taking 2/10 out of him that lap. Not quite 2/10, but very close to it.
You're on board with Eckstrom, looking at Bakkerud in front. Bakkerud looks super smooth. Kristoffersen's moving the car around. Okay, so do you send Bakkerud because Kristoffersen won't go? Just let him sit behind him.
Well,
he's never going to release him.
It depends on the gap. It's a little bit too busy. I think he could slot out in front of Gronholm. So yes, maybe it's his chance.
Okay, so maybe if Bakkerud or the Audi squad think that Bakkerud's got the measure, and I think he has. Bakkerud for the joker, surely. Oh, he doesn't! I can't believe they haven't sent him, and Sebastian Loeb goes. So Loeb getting onto the back of that
was on the train, yeah.
Why not send him, Glenn?
I can't answer that.
Oh.
It seemed sense, didn't it?
Okay,
get out straight between Kevin Hansen and Grunholm.
Grunholm drops back behind Loeb. Fastest lap of the day, Matias Eckstrom. So the Audis are definitely on form. They're going to need to do something with their tactics. They want to get past this man, because if we let Kristoffersen lead from the front,
he's just pulling in gaps now. They've left it too late.
He is. Have they left it too late?
Now it's gone from 2.8 to 6 in a lap.
I think they need to sort at least one of these cars out now and try and get the gas on, see whether or not they can do something to Kristoffersen when he's not in the mirrors. On board with Eckstrom.
It's not the first time.
Still there. Eckstrom goes. Eckstrom goes into the Joker. On board we were. Now we're outside. Ekstrom's tidy on the inside. Beautifully done.
Lovely.
Kevin Hansen hasn't jokered. Remember, he's only just going to get in front of Loeb. So Loeb's done a great job of Peugeot. Loeb up the inside, down to turn 1. Sticks the Peugeot through. What a move on Eckstrom. Brilliant drive. Eckstrom has another look at the inside. Loeb goes defensive down into turn 2. Brilliant. Fastest lap of the day. Got him on the Joker.
Absolutely cracking up. But Matias Eckstrom will not like that, that's for sure. He will be fighting every inch of the way to the final flag.
Fantastic. Loeb is on fire. One last time out in Belgium. Dreadful start here means he's not going to take the win, but he's damn well going to try and take a podium.
At the front, Andreas Bakkerud's losing time on Johan Kristoffersen. Johan's upped his pace.
How much time has he lost on the guys behind? Remember, Loeb was on a flyer, and Loeb was only just level with Eckstrom, so Loeb's coming through, but Bakkerud's going to get him, so Bakkerud is ahead of Loeb. Kevin Hansen goes, he's going to come out behind Grunholm. So now this is going to come down to Kristoffersen on the last lap.
Yeah, but it's Bakkerud. He's got clearer, and Johan Kristoffersen does, but Bakkerud, if he's going to do it, it's now.
5.4 seconds is the difference. We think the average is about 4.9. Kristoffersen might have enough. We'll find out soon enough.
Left and hairpin right, and then it's obviously into the Joker. This is going to be some finish, because we're watching for Kristoffersen coming from the Joker and Andreas Bakkerud coming from the standard lap.
Kristoffersen is inch perfect through the last hairpin. Out towards the left, don't drop it on the dust now. Tucks the nose in. We're looking for Bakkerud on the other line. Rotates the car round to the right. He's done it. He was in the wall about half an hour ago. Now he's going to be on the top step of the podium. Win number 3 for the World Champion 2018. What a recovery from him. Bakkerud takes P2, and Sebastian Loeb with a brilliant pass on Eckstrom makes it up onto the podium. Fantastic.
What a race. And like you said, as they crossed the line half an hour ago, Johan Kristoffersen was in that car, stuck in the tyre wall, and then even after his semi-final, he was stopped.
Oh, mate.
What has been going through his mind?
An emotional roller coaster.
To be inch perfect.
But that's what he does. He's a machine. He's a weapon. Is he a robot?
Well, a Swedish one if he is.
He's got too much of a good sense of humour, hasn't he?
No, he's a cracking lad. But at the same time, it just shows the team remained calm. Tommy, we saw his face, he remained calm. So did the driver. Everybody around the driver helps.
Kristoffersen takes the win at round 4, Silverstone circuit in the UK. Andreas Bakkerud is second. Sebastian Loeb with a brilliant pass on Eckstrom is third. Eckstrom wins the Monster Energy Supercharger Award, but just misses the podium. Fantastic result for Niklas Grunholm. Kevin Hansen is in 6th, which he will be pleased with too. Best result of his season so far.
Yeah, let's watch the start here. Sebastian Loeb, dip of the clutch, and that was it. Bang, gone to the back of the pack. All the way down here, obviously Andreas Bakkerud round the outside of Matias Eckstrom. Just to get on the gas a little bit earlier, can open the steering wheel. He's got nobody outside of him. We've got a train now. Sebastian Loeb's fighting back. Yeah, I just question Audi's strategy, and I'm friends with most of them, you know. I
think personally, when Bakkerud was all over the back of Kristoffersen,
this is where he should have gone.
Where he should have gone straight away. They should have sent him there and given him a chance. It would have been 4 laps where Kristoffersen couldn't see him, and the team would have been going, what's the gap, what's the gap?
Exactly.
Instead, it's visual. It's kind of easy when it's visual.
You made it easy for VW.
Yes, look at this. Absolutely stunning pass. I'm surprised Eckstrom gave him enough space.
He didn't like it. He whacked him up the rear bumper.
Yeah, well, there you go. Still got the job done, didn't he?
But Sebastian drove that car in straight and used every centimetre of the tyre as it should be used in a straight line to brake and reduce the speed, didn't he?
Look at that. Johan was absolutely full throttle sideways, 4-wheel drift over the line. Oh, wow, brilliant job. Brilliant job by Johan Kristoffersen. He takes his 3rd win of the year. He's been in all the finals. His worst result was 5th in Belgium. Amazing job by the reigning world champion, showing his class. Okay, there we go. Deep breath, racing finally done. Still some partying to do here at Speed Machine. Here are the championship standings after round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. Johan Kristoffersson increases his lead over Sebastian Loeb. It's now 14 points. Andreas Bakkerud moves up. Matias Eckstrom moves up. Petter Solberg had a bit of a disaster there in the semi-final. Moves down into 5th. Timmy Hansen and Niklas Gronholm stay in 6th and 7th. Kevin Hansen manages to drag himself up onto 8th place. Still close at the top. Really close between our factory drivers. Third of the way through the season. Fantastic racing in prospect for the remaining 8 races. Team standings we're going to take a look at as well. PSRX Volkswagen Sweden 185. EKS Audi Sport of Just Edge Team Peugeot Total here is 1 point between them. And absolutely fantastic stuff. And I think, what is it between these two? I think about 20 points in it roughly. Tanaco, Olsberg's MSC. Great stuff. Okay, well, that was the final at Silverstone. It's a 3rd win for Johan Kristoffersson after all that carnage. Brilliant job by him. I wonder if anyone can stop him in the rest of this season. Okay, Guy, definitely a different one. The race in the final was brilliant. The semi-finals were a bit messy, I thought.
It wasn't an easy one, was it, for everyone involved? But I think there's definitely 3 drivers that, okay, yes, they're on the podium, but Johan Kristoffersson will be pleased because obviously he won Q3 and Q4, got himself TQ, and then really take the incident with Petter out of it. He drove fantastically well today.
He did.
Yesterday he wasn't quite on form, was he?
He'd have been livid. If this hadn't gone his way, I know he'd have been livid. They will both say it wasn't my fault, and you could say it was 50-50. And these things, there are 50-50 incidents. When your teammates, I think you've got to give yourselves a little bit more space than they had on the way down there. The result is Solberg hasn't had a brilliant result. Kristoffersson has extended his lead in the World Championship. They'll have to have a big chat later. Kristoffersson, after, I think we've got to say, that's got to be one of the most stressful hours of his life. He's not exactly in... Okay, yeah, he is. I thought he wasn't in celebratory mode just for a second, yeah.
He still wants to know what happened, but I was going to say, Sebastian Loeb, Andreas Bakkerud, he did his teammate for pace there. It's the first time this year.
Yeah, that's good. That's a very good point. And talking to people doing people, Loeb did extra big time. We're going to see Sebastian Loeb's on board. In fact, I wonder if it was from the start of the race, but I wonder if we'll stay with him long enough to see when he managed to stick one past Eckstrom, because he'll love that, and Eckstrom won't like it at all, because bear in mind, Eckstrom is your race man, you know, and Loeb's like...
Yeah, just look at that. That just shows you going backwards.
What could he have done? I didn't really look at the lap times for Loeb. Was he there or not?
Yeah, he was there. I mean, he was banging in fast laps. You know, his fastest was a 38.2. So, you know, and the fastest lap that Johan did was a 38.3, and that was the standing start lap.
So Loeb could have won this were it not for the bad start, and that's got to be a bit disappointing. I mean, looking at the laps later on, you know, there's a few in there, but look at this. Look at the amount of work. This is that tricky braking. Now, listen, the noise is the wheels locking up, isn't it?
Transmission slog, yeah, didn't quite get it there. He was very smooth on the brakes, as we would expect. Merge, split from the joker, obviously very, very straight through here, Sebastian Loeb, as we would expect. I mean, that wing mirror is getting in the way of the other cars, but still we can see where the car's going to go. Obviously, a long right-hander drifting out towards the wall, but watch his steering inputs. Not very aggressive and very deliberate. He preloads the car.
He tried there, didn't he?
He lets the car know what he's going to do, and then whoosh.
Yeah, he waits too, doesn't he? You see him turning quite a lot with a bit of understeer, weight, hook the nose up on the gas. And this is what they've said. So do you remember last year they said it either understeers or it oversteers? It didn't have a very big window, did it?
It wasn't progressive.
Now it looks like it's got a lovely window, Guy.
He looks like that car is right exactly where he would like it.
Loving this. I'd really love to stay with him until we see the pass on Eckstrom, but I suspect we won't. Look at that. Okay, Eckstrom down towards turn 1. And that's that frantic moment as he's now look on the bar, big handbrake. Left-hand side, the thunderstorm that's threatened all weekend, luckily didn't turn up. Okay, so that was Eckstrom on board, and still with him now, Bakkerud. Up towards the jump. Listen, it's a big jump, Guy.
Yes, it is. It's big air time. It's asking a lot of the car to stay together over that repetitively. So, yeah, slight technical problem with the video there, but yeah, that was Kevin Hansen. He stopped right immediately after the line.
So he was 1 minute and 2 on his last lap. We didn't spot that because of the action that was happening up front. So Kevin Hansen had a rear left puncture. Oh, there you go.
Podium,
that's a podium. Dizzy Rascal was on that stage last night, absolutely killing it for the crowd. Johan Kristoffersson was on there for us filming the start and, of the show, and he's going to be on the top step there in a minute.
Johan, what a dramatic day this has been. Less than an hour ago, you were buried into the tyres, and here you are with another win. How are you feeling right now?
It's a bit strange. I mean, 5 hours ago I was P6 going into the intermediates, and then I had win in Q3, win in Q4. Semi-final was really tough in the first corner. To be honest, everything happened so quickly. So after there, I had a car was great. Big thanks to the mechanics that fixed it, and semi-final was okay. And then final, I don't know, Andreas find more pace than in the semi-final all of a sudden. So he was really on it, and then for the last 2-3 laps, I really tried to put my laps together to make a little bit of a gap or drive as the best I could, and yeah, it was just enough.
I have to ask you, have you spoken to Petra since that turn 1 incident?
Yeah, we speak briefly just between the semi-final and final, and yeah, we will see afterwards, but he just said go on and win it, so that's what I did.
You did. Well done, Johan.
Thank you.
He's happy enough, isn't he, because he got the result that he wanted in the end, and it's extended his lead in the championship. Sebastian Loeb, we say, second. Bakkerud and Eckstrom up, Solberg down, Hansen, Gronholm and Kevin Hansen making his way into the top 8. So it's a fairly significant gap for Kristoffersson ahead of Loeb. If you look from Bakkerud down to Timmy Hansen, there's just 12 points in it. It's super close at the top, and we're only a third of the way through the season.
Andreas, you look very happy to be second. It's your best result so far this season.
Well, it's a big relief. You know, I really felt for the first time in my Audi career that I managed to push the car as well. Like, the car had been there all the year long, and I feel that finally now I could also play with it and push it to the limits. You know, we have been very limited on dry testing, and it's been raining everywhere we have been going, so I haven't really had a chance to push the car 100%. And before we left the pit, we had huge problems with a lot of different stuff. So yeah, the Swedish said ingen kommer ihåg en fegis, nobody remember a coward. So I was going all in there, and at many points I felt I was quicker than Johan, but I went a bit hot into the Joker, a bit wide. So but all honor to Johan winning the third event this year, and yeah, I mean, I'm just stoked that I'm on the podium, get to spray some champagne. Our chef Jonas is then going to prepare me a taco in hell on Friday, so I can't wait for the meal.
Okay, well done already.
Snackerud is back.
Snackerud is back. PSRX Volkswagen Sweden still at the top of the team standings, despite the fact Solberg didn't make the final for the first time this year. So only 3 drivers now have been in every final. That's Kristoffersson, Loeb and Bakkerud. Bakkerud very happy with his second place, and that result has helped to put them just a point ahead, look, of Team Peugeot, Total, EKS, Audi Sport, moving up into second, and Peugeot down 1. Then Tanaco, GRX, Olsberg's MSC and GCK competition.
Sebastian, a great result, another podium, and a very nice move to make sure you made this podium.
Yeah, it was a nice move. Much better than my start, because I missed completely the start. I was 6th in the first corner, and I was first line, so it was just a bit aggressive with the clutch, dropped the engine and limit to stall. So, but then I pushed really hard. I had a good strategy for the Joker. I had nearly a clean race after that, so I pushed hard and took some cars in the way, and at the end finished just on the podium, 3rd place. It's 4th podium in a row, so I will not complain. I'm a bit frustrated because with a good start I could do much better here, but it's like this. We are still in the fight. That's the most important.
Enjoy the champagne.
Thank you.
4 podiums in a row. I think that's very worth pointing out, Guy. You know, that's an incredible run of form from Sebastian Loeb. Although Kristoffersson still extends that championship lead, and you know, it looked like, you know, we were saying he's going to lose the championship lead, and now he's extended it. But that's
the way it goes.
It's the way a world champion works as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Stay calm, get it done.
Absolutely, and those two, Sebastian and Johan, are very level-headed. You know, Sebastian knows that he really is desperate to win this World Championship. He wants to win a second discipline. He's done rally. He wants to do Rallycross. He had to go at World Touring Car and didn't quite do it. He is desperate to do it, and he knows that he just doesn't want to tangle himself up and have a miss out on points, should I say. But here we go. The crowd responded.
Bakkerud, yeah, with trying a few shapes up there on the stage. Matias Eckstrom gets the Monster Energy Supercharge Award, so he's up there with his teammate as well.
Our VIP to give away our first first place trophy.
Nice to see Eckstrom up there to pick that up as well.
And he is the sales director.
The crowds with the flags out as well. We've got some VIPs from Cooper Tyres, of course the title sponsor here. Cooper Tyres Rallycross of Great Britain. Johan Kristoffersson, his third big trophy of the year.
Second place to give away our trophy.
And what's that going to put him on? Let me take a look. Johan Kristoffersson moves on to 12 all-time wins. Solberg and Eckstrom behind him on 10 each. Andreas Bakkerud on 6, Hansen on 5. We've got a series of drivers with 1 or 2 wins each. But Kristoffersson, bear in mind, I think he's won about 9 of those in the last year, maybe more. I mean, you know, so a year ago he was towards the bottom of that list, and now he's absolutely at the top by 2. And he's a brilliant driver.
He is indeed. Andreas Bakkerud playing the crowd like Dizzy Rascal was last night.
Yeah.
He's a showman, Andreas Bakkerud.
I'm glad to see him at popular space. You know, it's a tough team to be in KS and Audi. You know, Eckstrom is a tough team boss from the point of view of trying to beat him, and from the point of view of he's always working, he's always full focus. So
he's relentless.
Yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is. So
there we go.
Champagne from the
These are the guys need and want the champagne.
They're going to leave the stage as fast as they possibly can. Matias threatening to soak them, but they managed to get away. There we go, fireworks and confetti obscuring the podium at round 4 of the World Rallycross Championship. But no one can obscure the talent of Johan Kristoffersson. It is his 3rd win this year. Champagne for the top 3. Little shower there for Bakkerud, for Eckstrom, and I look back at some of the action from this weekend. Guy Wilkes, I think it's been a really fun weekend. The festival thing's been great. The crowd's been fantastic. The thunderstorms only came in the night, you know, so that was pretty cool. We've done all right.
Great for circuit driving and festival goers alike. It's been a fantastic blend of both. I was skeptical about this event, and I'm a Brit, but I think it was fantastic. Really wish that I come down here next year and bring the family.
Yeah, look forward to that.
But I want to drive.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe you drive, maybe a bit of the family, maybe up in the commentary box. My thanks to Guy Wilkes, as always. Seen some brilliant racing action, some very close merges at that last lap joker. Tommy Rustad making it through to the semi-finals against the World RX regulars. Really, really good job. Absolutely massive crowd. They were going off last night to Dizzy Rascal. This was Johan Kristoffersson going off in turn 1. That caused a red flag. They worked frantically to fix Solberg's car. Both the Polos were there at the restart, but it was only a lap later that Petter's car went sick. Then it looked like Kristoffersson wasn't going to make it back, having won his semi-final, which you're looking at now. Somehow, though, they did manage to drag that car back to the paddock with that damage across the front. On to semi-final number 2. Sebastian Loeb, Eckstrom, Timmy Hansen. Brilliant performance from the Peugeots again. Loeb winning from Eckstrom, and then on to the final. It felt like a very frantic hour, particularly if you're one of the mechanics in the VW squad. But the final, Kristoffersson was brilliant as always. Got a great start. Sebastian Loeb went backwards, put on a masterclass in a big push to manage to make his way back up through the field. This was Bakkerud, who was right up behind Kristoffersson. Should he have jokered early? Would he have got a better result? He seems really happy with second place anyway. He's been on form. Loeb putting a pass on Eckstrom. Fantastic move by him. But Johan Kristoffersson, the world champion, with the number 1 on the car, stacks up on number 3 next to the number of wins this year. Brilliant drive by him. We're only a third of the way through the season, and we're headed to Norway next. We'll see you in hell.
Yeah, Connor. And in third place, Sandre Evian, number 69. And our VIP for first place, John Grant, BRDC chairman. And our VIP for second place, Steve Rimmer, Dirtfish CEO. And next up, our man from Cooper Tires is Graham Mitchell. Monster Energy girls, please bring out the bubbly. Look at that, they try to get him before. Well done, you guys are getting faster at this. Well done. They just do laps so they don't get too wet. I'm ready, as long as you guys are ready. All right, our final top three in the ARX, America's Rallycross. In first place, Tanner Faust. So stoked to have Tanner over here. In second place, it is Scott Speed. And in third place, yes, coming back to the UK, the British Bomber. And our VIP to give Tanner his prize, it is the Dirtfish CEO, Steve Rimmer. Our next VIP, it is Cooper Tile Sales Director, Graham Mitchell. And finally, BRDC Chairman, Mr. John Grant. Grant. All right, good luck, Monster Energy girls, good luck. Can they unleash the champagne and not get wet in time? Can they do it? Only time will tell. You guys are getting good at this, man. You guys are practicing. Can we get a big round of applause for all our combatants, all our fossil fuel burning gladiators from Planet Speed Machine-a-tron. The first speed machine. Yeah, Liam's a troublemaker. Stay away from Liam. Make sure you guys hashtag Speed Machine. We'd be stoked.